Chapter 129. Today is the first day. Let's make something delicious for you. We won't go out to eat. Just after 11 o'clock, Guo Pai said with a smile. He called Zhou Tianyang and heard that there were good ingredients. In less than 5 minutes, Zhou Tianyang had already arrived in Bugyaku. Is there anyone among you who knows how to cook? Help Uncle Zhou, Guo Pai said with a smile to a group of students. Obviously, these students had not recovered from the luxury in Bugyaku. Not many people were willing to help Zhou Tianyang. Liu was an exception. She ran directly to the tap to wash her hands and went into the kitchen. To Guo Pai's surprise, Himo also went into the kitchen. Guo Pai, do you still have the bear paws we ate that day? Give me some, Zhou Tianyang asked loudly. Ahem. Uncle Zhou, do you think bear paws are cabbage? We don't have any bear paws, but you can try to make some meat like how you make roe deer and let everyone have a taste. I'll make this shark fin. I've been soaking it for a day, Guo Xiao said as he opened a large basin. There was really a half-meter long shark fin inside. Zhou Tianyang could not help but pull out one and put it in his mouth. Suddenly, his expression changed. I will make this shark fin. You can do the rest, Zhou Tianyang said with a smile. Guo Pai did not say much and directly gave the shark fin to Zhou Tianyang. The kitchen was very big. It was very spacious for 4 people. Liu began to help pick the vegetables. Guo Pai looked at Himo and directly called her in front of him. He threw a piece of pork rib in front of Himo. Try this knife and see if you can get used to it. Cut the pork rib. With that, a kitchen knife appeared in Guo Pai's hand. The moment the kitchen knife appeared, Zhou Tianyang, who was tearing the shark fin, felt as if there was some danger. He shivered, and his eyes fell on the kitchen knife that Guo Pai handed to Himo. Girl, you better hold it well. It's a good knife. If you use it well, not only can you cut vegetables and meat, but it's also good for killing people and robbing them. Hee, Zhou Tianyang said with a smile, and then he picked up his shark fin. Thank you, master. Himo took the kitchen knife and quickly chopped at the pork ribs. In just 3 or 4 minutes, a large piece of pork ribs was cut into even small pieces. Girl, your knife skills are not bad, Zhou Tianyang said with a smile. It's a knife. I touched the bone with my hand. It looks like a cow bone, but it's much thicker than a cow bone. It's 10 times harder than a cow bone. This knife is too powerful, Himo said softly. If you like it, then keep it. But remember, don't use it to hurt people. Otherwise, with your current strength, you won't be able to control it, Guo Pai said with a smile. This kitchen knife was from Lao Juan's gourd. The previous owner, Cloud Scattered Immortal, knew nothing about the gourd, but Guo Pai knew the origin of this kitchen knife. It was because there was a small Pao engraved on the kitchen knife. This knife was Pao Ding's cow dismembering knife. Everyone knew that Pao Ding was a chef, but no one knew that Pao Ding had ascended to the heavenly realm. A cow dismembering knife could kill ghosts and demons. It was very impressive. Guo Pai, do you have any more of that knife? Can you give me one to play with? Zhou Tianyang asked with a smile after finishing the big plate of shark fin. When I have time, I'll get you one similar. There's only one of that knife. I'm afraid there's only one of it in the whole world. Guo Pai smiled and said, people say that you can't have your cake and eat it too. If I give you a bear paw, how much can you make it and the shark fin? I knew you had that kind of bear paw. Give it to me. I saw in an ancient book that if you can make bear paw and shark fin, then give it to me if you want to have a good meal today, Zhou Tianyang said loudly. Guo Pai didn't hold back and threw a huge bear paw to Zhou Tianyang. Wu Gang, is that bear paw delicious? In the Moon Palace, Chang, it looked at Wu Gang, who was eating, and asked with a smile. It's delicious. It's much better than the food at the Saturn Peach banquet. Big sister, I didn't expect you to have this skill. You should have said so earlier. I'll go to the demon realm and get a bear later. Haha, if Yang Jian saw you like this, his expression would be very rich, Chang Yi said with a smile. Wu Gang, one of the 3 great generals of the heavenly court, is squatting on a stool and eating bear paw. He's even sucking his fingers. Haha, I'm dying of laughter. What's wrong with Yang Jian? Even if he ate such good food, he wouldn't be any better than me. Wu Gang said with a smile. It's been tens of thousands of years. Today's meal is the best. Let's not talk anymore. I'm going to chop some trees. After saying that, Wu Gang picked up his big axe and prepared to leave. There's more delicious food. However, going to the demon realm to catch the demon whale is a bit dangerous. Chang, he said with a smile, I won't let you go. Tell Yang Jian to come find me. His eye of reincarnation seems to be good for dealing with the demon whale. Big sister, you can't be biased. I'll go find Yang Jian about the demon whale. When the time comes, I'll go back to the Moon Palace with him. See if you need anything else. We'll get it together. Wu Gang said while playing with his big axe. Go get a demonic bear. Chang said with a smile. However, I just calculated that the two of you will be in great danger this time. If you encounter that demon king, hurry up and run back. Otherwise, the heavenly court will lose two great generals. That old fart Hong Jun will curse again. Fairy, why are you slandering me behind my back? This is not something you would do. A deep voice resounded in the Moon Palace. Hong Jun, since you heard it, it's not slandering me behind my back. You peeked at my Moon Palace. Could it be that you also want to see this fairy bathing? Haha. After saying that, Chang'e flicked her sleeve. Hong Jun, who was playing chess 10,000 meters away, suddenly shivered. The chess piece in his hand was placed in the wrong place. Crazy woman. Truly a crazy woman. Hong Jun said loudly. This caused old Lord Taishang, who was playing chess with him, to be at a loss. Chang, he laughed loudly in the Moon Palace. Wu Gang's forehead was covered in cold sweat. Just now, when Chang'e flicked her sleeve, it actually contained the power of the great Tao. Wu Gang ran out of the Moon Palace as if he was escaping. At 12:30, everyone sat around a huge round table. Chun Jeti carefully looked at the table in front of him. Such a big table was actually made of a whole piece of wood. It was not pieced together. This made him feel a trace of admiration for the hall master, who was a few years younger than him. In the afternoon, I will take you to buy Chinese medicine. I won't let you drink at noon. Let's taste Uncle Zhou's and my cooking. After saying that, a small plate appeared in front of everyone. Then, 4 white jade soup bowls were served. A rich smell of fish assaulted their nostrils. This is shark's fin. But why does it taste like this? It's too delicious. A student took a small sip and said softly, Uncle Zhou, what kind of meat is inside? Oh my God, when I was in Takashi University, I heard about Tianyang restaurant. However, I have never been there. How much delicious food have I missed? Chow, Qian Kuan said loudly. Uncle Zhou, you have worked hard. Come, if you have nothing to do in the afternoon, let's have a cup. After saying that, Guopai poured a cup of wine for Zhou Tianyang. Zhou Tianyang looked at the group of children, eating dumbfounded, and laughed. The meat inside the shark's fin is a bear's paw. They say that you can't have both the fish and the bear's paw. Today, old Zhou must let them be together. Zhou Tianyang said loudly. Chapter 130. Some of the students were still hesitant at first, but in the face of such delicious food, they began to eat heartily for fear that they would not eat enough. PMO had already eaten the 3rd bowl of shark fin soup. He turned his head and looked at Guopai. What kind of person is he? Can he really cure my face? After a pleasant lunch, they cleaned up the table in the room. Guopai changed his clothes and appeared in front of them. Boss, today is the best meal I've ever had in my life. Boss, if you have anything to say, just say it. I'll do it as long as I can, a student of the College of Western Medicine said with a smile. Since you are the employees of my clinic, it's my duty to take care of your meals. I'll take you to buy some Chinese herbs in the afternoon. Get ready, Guopai said with a smile. After a while, 3 brand new 7-seater SUVs and a Jinbei stopped at the door. Uncle Zhou, you drive the Jinbei. In the future, we'll leave our meals to you. Don't worry, your hidden disease will last for at most 10 days. I'll get you the medicine and cure it for you, Guopai said with a smile. As for the other 3 cars, you should know how to drive. Divide yourselves into 3 groups. 1 person in each group will drive, or you can take turns if you want to drive. Remember, the students of the College of Traditional Chinese Medicine and the students of the College of Western Medicine should work together. Let's go to buy some common Chinese herbs today. When we arrive at the place, each group is free to buy whatever you want. I'll pay when the time comes. Let's go. After saying that, Guopai pulled and drove his SUVs to the largest Chinese herb market in Wu Castle City. Wu Castle City's shopping Chinese herb wholesale market. Bad guy, the herbs in Laojuan's gourd are enough for us to use for a long time. Why we still need to buy herbs? The quality of the herbs in this world is much worse, and some of them even pass off as genuine. If we're not careful, we might die from eating them, Ewer said softly. That's why we have to come to the Chinese herb market. If we can solve the problem of the Chinese herb market, it will be a great merit, Guopai said with a smile. In addition, not all the patients we treat in Bugyaku are seriously ill. We can treat all colds, fevers, headaches, and fever. I want to revitalize Chinese medicine. All right, then I'll accompany Bad Brother and torment him this time. As he spoke, the car entered the shopping Chinese herbal wholesale market. The rich smell of Chinese herbs could be clearly smelled from the parking lot. Scoundrel Gua, can we really buy whatever we want? The situation in the Chinese herbal medicine market is very complicated, and so are the people. Not to mention the students who haven't graduated. Even President Liu has suffered losses when he came to buy herbs. Leng Shuang asked softly. Hearing Leng Shuang's words, the other students nodded. There were many similarities between Chinese and Western medicine when it came to purchasing herbs. For example, there were both Chinese and Western medicine. All the students of the College of Western Medicine agreed, with Leng Shuang's point of view. Go ahead and see. Go ahead and ask. Go ahead and buy. I don't care if the herbs you buy are genuine or fake. I'll pay for all of them, Guopai said loudly. A few young people in the parking lot whispered in the corner. The 18 students were divided into 3 groups, with 6 people in each group. Guopao and Ewer were together, and they entered the Chinese herbal medicine wholesale market. Bad guy, there are more fake herbs than genuine ones. How can we choose? Ewer and Guopai didn't even need to enter the store. They could tell which herbs were genuine and which were fake just by smelling the fragrance in the air. The 3 groups of students were different. Himo's group was a little better. He was a disciple of the ghastly 13 Needles. Although there were times when he made a mistake, he didn't make a mistake in choosing some expensive herbs. Little Yu, come here and have a look. These are Chinese herbs from Guangzhou. They are of top quality and reasonable price. Guopai and Ewer walked to a big door and were stopped by a middle-aged man in a white robe. There's indeed something I want. Guopai took a deep breath and said in his heart. Then he walked straight into the store. Little Yu, what kind of herbs are you looking for? You can give me the list of herbs you need. Pang Guojun, can't guarantee anything, but the herbs in my store are definitely the best in shopping market, the fat man said and gave him a thumbs up. Don't worry that I don't have the money. I'm just worried that you don't have the goods. Let's take a look at Boss Pang's store, Guopai said and pulled Ewer inside. In a big yard, there were all kinds of Chinese herbs. Guopai smiled. He didn't expect that all the herbs on display were real. However, when he looked at the gunny sack behind him, the quality of the herbs was much worse than the ones on display. Little Yu, feel free to look around. Just let me know if you need any, Pang Guojun said with a smile. I need all the herbs you have here, Guopai said with a smile. Boss Pang, can you pack all the herbs on display for me? Little Yu, I'll get someone to bring you some new ones. There are new ones in the sack. These have been on display for a few days. I'm afraid that some of the herbs have lost some of their effects. I can't let you lose out, Pang Guojun said, and called a young man over with bags in his hands. Losing out is a blessing. Boss Pang, I just want the ones on display, Guopai said and packed the bags himself. Little Yu, I'll pack some new ones for you. These herbs. Pang Guojun thought for a long time, but couldn't come up with a good idea. Boss Pang, let's sit inside and talk, Guopai squinted his eyes and said with a smile. Okay, let's sit inside first, Pang Guojun then signaled the young man outside with his eyes. Boss Pang, the herbs in the bag are quite watery. Guopai went straight to the point. I opened a medical center. It's okay if the things are a little expensive, but I like good things. Ahem, I didn't expect little Yu to know so much about herbs. Looks like I'm blind today. Pang Guojun said. All the herbs in Huaxia are the same. If little Yu wants to buy something better, the price won't be cheap. Tell your young man to stop working. No matter how he mixes the herbs outside, I can pick them out for him one by one, Guopai said with a smile. I heard that Boss Pang received a treasure a few days ago. I wonder if I could take a look at it. Little you, there are less than 5 people in the entire market who know about this. I wonder where little you got the news from. Pang Guojun was shocked and asked softly, Boss Pang, you're a businessman. So, am I. Show me the good stuff. The price is negotiable, Guo Pai said with a smile. Little you, if you want to buy herbs from outside, I'll get you the best. I've already given the thing you asked for away. I'm sorry, Pang Guojun said with a smile. Little Tion, see what herbs this little you needs later. Help her pack them up. Pack them up. Guo Pai naturally understood what Pang Guojun meant. Since Boss Pang doesn't want to do business with me, I'd better look elsewhere. As he said that, a black card appeared in Guo Pai's hand. It was a black card from America's Citibank. It was a limited issue in the world. It was given by Jia Yuan to Guo Pai. There wasn't much money in it, just 1 billion. Chapter 131. Little you are really here for old Pang's stuff? Pang Guojun smiled when he saw the black card. Boss Pang, don't waste our time. Where is it? Guo Pai squinted his eyes and asked. Pang Guojun led Guo Pai to a remote hut and opened the door. It was dark, but the familiar feeling made Guo Pai excited. It was really that kind of thing. The light in the hut was turned on. There was a huge pool with a big piece of rotten meat in it. Little you, I don't need to introduce this thing to you. Pang Guojun said with a smile. A month ago, Pang Guojun went to Guangzhou to collect herbs. When he passed by a small village called Longshire Gully, he saw an old man pushing a pile of rotten meat in a cart. He suddenly remembered what the teacher who taught him about herbs said. A long time ago, Ganoderma lucidum appeared in Longshire Gully. Its surface and body were like rotten meat. It was a rare thing. Pang Guojun followed the old man home and bought the Ganoderma lucidum at the price of 70 cents per kilogram. He knew that he couldn't let too many people know about this thing. How much was it worth? 1 million? 5 million? 10 million? As long as he met the real owner, it would definitely be a sky-high price. Today, Guo Pai came. He felt that the real owner was here. Ganoderma lucidum. Guo Pai squinted at the big thing in the pool and tried to hide his inner joy. Normally, a Ganoderma lucidum would not exceed 50 kilograms. His third brother Wang Sheng's grandfather had a Ganoderma lucidum, but it was only 99 kilograms after decades of raising it. This Ganoderma lucidum was the real Ganoderma lucidum, the one that couldn't be touched. Little you have seen it, whether it is real or not. I think little you should be able to tell with your eyes. Pang Guojun said with a smile. Boss Pang, name a price. Guo Pai was more direct and said with a smile, things are not small, but not everything is better the bigger the better. For example, those thumb-sized ginseng in Mr. Pang's yard are actually less effective than a big radish. Ahem, little you, I bought it for 50,000 yuan per kilogram at that time. You can give me a price. Let's become friends. Since little you runs a medical center, we will have a lot of dealings with each other. Pang Guojun said with a smile. He knew that Tai Sui fungus was a good thing. In recent years, a lot of Tai Sui fungus had been reported in China. The price of Tai Sui fungus ranged from 10,000 yuan per gene to 40,000 yuan per gene. Since Guo Pai was also a knowledgeable person, it was impossible to sell it at a sky-high price. He bought it for 70 yuan per kilogram, and now he wants 50,000 yuan from me. It seems that I'm not good at doing business. Guo Pai thought to himself. So be it. The snow mussel pills refined by the Tai Sui king can produce 1,000 pills per kilogram. If one pill is sold for 10 million, the profit won't be small. Pang Guojun looked at Guo Pai and hesitated. He thought to himself that his price was too high. Little you, we hit off at first sight today. I will give you the price of friend. There is no money that can't be earned, only friends that can't be made. 30,000 yuan per kilogram. You can take it if you want. Pang Guojun said with a smile. In fact, Guo Pai's words that the bigger the thing, the less the better, made him hesitate in his heart. His expectation of Tai Sui fungus was lowered a lot. Well, I will pay the price according to Boss Pang's price. In addition, ask your shop assistant to pack the traditional Chinese medicine in the yard. Pay as much as you want. Let's cooperate more in the future, was said with a smirk. He didn't expect that he would be able to save 3 million yuan just by reacting a little slower. Good. I will send it to Little Yu's shop later. May I know where Little Yu's clinic is? Pang Guojun said with a smile. 30,000 yuan per kilogram was a big profit for him. Bugyaku, 388, Xinglin Street. There is no need to trouble Boss Pang with such a big thing. You can pack the traditional Chinese medicine and ask your shop assistant to send it to me. I will do it myself. Guopai said with a smile. What happened next startled old Pang once again. The Tai Sui fungus, which weighed around 150 kilograms, including the water inside. Guopao and you each took one side and directly lifted the item out, letting old Pang take a good look at the two of them again. Boss Pang, you don't have to send me off. I will come over and swipe my card later. As Guopai said, the two quickly walked to the side of the car. Then, the huge black plastic bag disappeared. Naturally, it was put into Lao Juan's gourd by Guopai. Today's luck is good. We didn't come in vain. Ha! Guopai held Er's hand and returned to Pang Guojun's shop. Including the traditional Chinese medicine, it cost a total of 8 million yuan. Old Pang sent Guopai and out as if they were his biological father. Although he did not sell his poor quality traditional Chinese medicine, he was relieved that the Tai Sui fungus was sold. Classmate, take a closer look at this ginseng. I think your teacher should have told you that this is wild ginseng. It has been growing for more than 10 years. 10,000 yuan is the lowest price. If Little Yu wants this, I will give this bag of ginseng to you. Chun Jiadi was surrounded by a middle-aged woman and said with a smile. Chun Jiadi looked at the woman in front of him, who was from the same hometown as him, and finally nodded. He bought the 13-year-old wild ginseng for 10,000 yuan, which made a college of traditional Chinese medicine student beside him call him a fool in his heart. In 3 hours, the 18 students bought a lot of things. Guopai walked around. The College of Traditional Chinese Medicine was better. At least they bought some good herbs. Although the price was not cheap, Guopai could accept it. However, the College of Traditional Chinese Medicine students spent a lot of money. The herbs they bought could only be fed to pigs. Or rather, pigs could not eat them as they would die. More than 20 people left the Xiafeng Chinese medicine wholesale market. Every shop they visited was full of smiles because they had more or less made a lot of money from the students. When Guopai and the others drove back to Bugyaku, Zhou Tianyang had already returned and was preparing to cook. Zhou Tianyang went out to buy a lot of things today. In addition to some live fish and chicken, some ingredients were already prepared. They were all washed and placed on the table. Little bad. I started cooking as soon as you came back. There are chicken and fish. Of course, it is not as good as lunch, but it is definitely better than the restaurants outside. What do you want to eat? Just tell me. Zhou Tianyang said with a smile. Uncle Zhou, we bought a lot of Chinese herbs today. Why don't we make some medicinal cuisine tonight? Guopai said with a smile. Okay. You don't say. I know a little about medicinal cuisine. Let me see what you bought. Zhou Tianyang said with a smile. Then he opened the bags one by one. At first, he nodded slightly when he saw them, but then he began to frown. Who bought this ginseng? It must have cost a lot. Zhou Tianyang picked up the wild ginseng that Chun Jiadi bought and asked with a smile. Uncle Zhou, I bought this ginseng. It was sold by a fellow villager for only 10,000 yuan. It was cheap, right? He even gave us a bag of cultivated ginseng. Chun Jiadi said with a smile. A 13-year-old wild ginseng for only 10,000 yuan is almost the same as giving it to you for free. Zhou Tianyang said with a smile. 10 years ago, I spent almost 180,000 yuan on a 9-year-old wild ginseng. That old man reluctantly gave it to me. Then how much can this 13-year-old ginseng be sold for? Chun Jiadi asked excitedly. Zhou Tianyang smiled and raised a finger. He did not say anything. 1 million yuan? Can it be sold for that much? No wonder Chinese medicine has not declined for so many years. It turns out that the profit is so high. It is much higher than Western medicine. Chun Jiadi murmured. Kid, 1 million yuan. Remove 10,000 yuan. You have been cheated. Zhou Tianyang shook his head and said. Chapter 132. You've been cheated. These simple words made Chun Jiadi's face turn red at once, and then pale. 10,000 yuan was nothing to him, but he couldn't stand being cheated. The students of the College of Traditional Chinese Medicine who were in the same group as Chun Jiadi stepped forward. Guo Pai said with a smile, "Can you tell how this 13-year-old wild ginseng is fake?" "Headmaster, I was beside Senior Chun when he bought the ginseng. I saw this ginseng. Although I don't know how it's fake, I know the price of a 13-year-old wild ginseng. It's impossible for such a wild ginseng to be worth 10,000 yuan," Wu Zhan said with a smile. "The other students, come over and see if anyone can figure it out," Zhou Tianyang said with a smile. "This ginseng is a year-old ginseng." Mo took a step forward and said softly, "The upper part is glued with other year-old ginseng." Guo Pai nodded slightly after hearing that. Zhou Tianyang smiled and picked up the ginseng. He pinched it gently, and the upper part of the ginseng broke into more than a dozen sections. Chun Jiadi's face turned even paler. "I'll go find them," Chun Jiadi shouted and was ready to run out. "Emperor Jia, come back. You won't get anything even if you go. Since you bought this thing, just treat it as a lesson." 10,000 yuan is not expensive, Zhou Tianyang said with a smile. "I'll go cook. You guys talk." After that, he took some Chinese herbs from several bags and went into the kitchen. "I was a little disappointed on the first day." Guo Pai looked at the 18 students and said, "I wasn't disappointed because Chun Jiadi bought fake ginseng. About half of the items in these bags were unusable. Ephedra in the first bag, cinnamon twigs in the second bag, perilla leaves in the third bag, bramble mustard in the fifth bag, angelica in the seventh bag, magnolia in the eighth bag, dendrobium in the 10th bag, strange willow in the 11th bag, kudzu root in the 12th bag, venison and acaranthes in the 14th bag, thunderwind vine and bone-seeking wind in the 15th bag, dogbone spine and figwort in the 16th bag, greenwood incense and hawthorn root in the 17th bag." As Guo Pai spoke, all the students slowly lowered their heads. The 4th, 6th, 9th, 13th, and 18th bags that weren't mentioned by Guo Pai were secretly delighted at first, but what Guo Pai said next made them want to find a hole to hide in. The remaining 5 bags contain a mixture of good and bad things. If you want to use them, you'll have to pick out all the bad ones. Otherwise, you'll die if you use these medicines. Guo Pai said softly, "I hope you can remember that you're not students of Takashi University's College of Traditional Chinese Medicine or College of Western Medicine. You're employees of Bugyaku, doctors of Bugyaku, and the top doctors of Huaxia in the future. You're the hope and pride of traditional Chinese medicine." Guo Pai said loudly, "You have 3 groups, and each group has a student who knows traditional Chinese medicine. You can avoid a lot of mistakes, but you're fighting for yourself. This is not what I want to see. After dinner today, I'll tell you how to identify the herbs you bought. Tomorrow, we'll go to the traditional Chinese medicine market and let those peddlers who can't see you clearly and treat you as fat cattle be completely dumbfounded." Guo Pai's words made the 18 students' blood boil. About 30 minutes later, a burst of fragrance came from the kitchen. Guo Pai walked into a small house in Bugyaku. Then, Guo Pai put the Tai Sui fungus, which weighed 130 kilograms, into the big pool in the house. "It seems that I have to ask Dezhu to come here in the next 2 days. The essence blood of a great magus, using the essence blood of a great magus to raise the Tai Sui fungus. Even the heavenly court doesn't have such a big deal. I can refine some medicinal pills that can be used in the human world," Guo Pai said with a smile. Guo Pai walked out of the house and looked at Yuer. Yuer also had the essence blood of a great magus, but Yuer looked at him with a smile, which made him dispel all the thoughts, because Yuer seemed to have guessed what he was thinking. The dagger in her hand had been exposed from her sleeve. If Guo Pai dared to say it, he would definitely be bleeding. "Let's eat. After dinner, we'll classify these herbs together and put the useful ones into the medicine cabinet. As for the useless ones, I'll find another way," Guo Pai said with a smile. Dinner was not as sumptuous as lunch. Because of the matter of buying medicine, the 18 students were not very interested. However, Guo Pai and Zhou Tianyang were drinking very comfortably. "Cheer up. Today is the first day. There's still a long way to go. Come on, move all the herbs you bought into the house. After eating and drinking to their heart's content, Guopai asked the students to move the herbs into the house and began to explain the herbs to all of them. There are many kinds of commonly used herbs in different forms, which will bring us some difficulties in identifying the quality of the herbs. In our ordinary Chinese medicine hall, we can't use modern testing methods to test the herbs, nor can we send all the flavored herbs to the drug testing department for identification. We can only use the traditional methods of identification, such as seeing with our eyes, touching with our hands, smelling with our noses, tasting with our mouths, testing with water, and burning with fire. Guopai said with a smile, while holding some herbs in his hand. In addition to the traditional methods of identification, there are many other methods to identify herbs. There are also different methods to identify herbs that are not used. For example, you could take a saffron flower and put it in water. The water will turn yellow, but the flower will not fade. After soaking in the water will have a blue fluorescence. When the powder of bear gall is put into a clear water cup, it will swirl on the surface and sink as a yellow line without spreading. Guopai explained with a smile. From 7 o'clock to 9 o'clock, the students were still a little reserved at first. Then they all relaxed and began to ask questions. Generally, Guopai would let the students of the College of Traditional Chinese Medicine start to discuss. Hemo's knowledge of traditional Chinese medicine surprised the students of the two colleges. There are many commercial categories of ginseng, such as red ginseng, sun-dried ginseng, wild ginseng, and other straight ginseng. There are dozens of fake ginseng, which is very confusing to identify. The distinctive features of human ginseng are the reed head, stem base, and reed bowl, stem mark. All kinds of commercial ginseng have reed heads and reed bowls. Garden ginseng have reed bowls on one or two sides of the reed head, while wild ginseng have reed bowls on all sides. For good ginseng, other straight ginseng, the reed head is almost the same diameter as the ginseng body. For those that have platycodon as raw sun-dried ginseng, the platycodon reed bowls have a half-moon shape, which can be identified. There are no reed bowls for other fake ginseng, Imo said softly as he held the ginseng bought by a student of the College of Western Medicine. Guopai nodded with satisfaction. This disciple of his was not bad. Before the opening ceremony, he had to refine some snow muscle pills to treat Imo's face first. When all the students returned to the hotel to sleep, Guopai walked into the small house where the centenary ginseng was kept. His flying sword fell, and a palm-sized piece of the centenary ginseng was cut off. It's so tiring to not have a medicinal cauldron. So many people ascended in the past. It's impossible for them to take their medicinal cauldrons with them. I have to find a way to get a few good medicinal cauldrons when I have time. Otherwise, the success rate of refining medicine is too low. Guopai said softly. He entered Bagyaku's pharmacy and arranged the selected Chinese herbs in order. The snow mussel pill was much better than the one that Murong Weiwei used. It was also easier to refine than the youth-retaining pill. It could help Bagyaku make the first hit on the opening day. As he thought about it, the corners of Guo Pao's mouth curled up into a smile. The herbs on the table all floated in mid-air as the true fire leaked out. After about an hour, after failing 8 times, there were 18 white pills floating in the air. He had finally succeeded. Chapter 133. At 8 o'clock in the morning, all the students were dressed neatly and gathered in Bagyaku. Guopai couldn't help but be surprised. Headmaster, you said yesterday that we would go to the Xiafeng Chinese herbal medicine wholesale market today. We are ready, Chunjiati said loudly. Guopai nodded slightly. This group of students was quite interesting. Wait for a moment. Himo, come with me. Guopai said to Himo with a smile. The other students had different expressions. Guopai didn't say much and went straight into the room. Why do you think the headmaster called Himo in alone? He can't do anything out of line, right? Sutu from the College of Western Medicine whispered. How is that possible? Didn't you see Sister Yua? The headmaster has such a beauty beside him. How could he do anything to Himo? What are you thinking? Lu Feng from the College of Traditional Chinese Medicine whispered. I can't say for sure. Your dojo master is a big pervert. Girls must be careful. Otherwise, he will eat you up until not even your bones are left. Yuer had appeared behind them at some point in time and said with a smile, Sister Sure Sure, Sister Shuang Shuang, and the other sisters, you must be careful. Think about it. There are so many people in the 2 colleges, and there should be many who are better than you. Why did he choose you in the end? Sister Yuer, is what you said true? Are you following the headmaster because of his abuse of power? Xiao Qian from the College of Traditional Chinese Medicine looked at Yuer, who was loved by everyone, and asked in a low voice. Not really. The big bad guy's medical skills are amazing. I happen to need him to make medicine for me. After a long time, I had no choice but to follow him, Yuer said pitifully. If that's the case, we will leave Bugyaku together, Xiao Qian said while gritting his teeth. The hall master can't be such a person. The hall master said that he wants us to be good doctors. He can't be the kind of person you're talking about. Liu said loudly. It hurts. Himo's voice came from the room when they were arguing. Bear with it. It won't hurt in a while. Trust me. Guopai's voice continued. He's bleeding. Himo yelled out once again. Liu, what else do you have to say now? No. I have to save Junior Himo. As Su Tu spoke, he prepared to barge into the room. Su Tu, you can't go. What's the point of you going in now? If the hall master is treating Himo, you can't disturb him. Lin Luoshan, who had been silent all this time, stepped forward and blocked Su Tuesday. Yeah, I can't go in now. What if I see something I shouldn't see? That would be Himo's virginity. Su Tu clenched his fist and murmured. You looked at everyone with a smirk. It's over. Another girl is in trouble. She was poisoned by this big bad guy and can't be cured for the rest of her life. Yuer said with a sigh, Master, it's so comfortable. What is this? Give it to me again. Himo's voice came again. The girls' faces all blushed. The boys clenched their fists. You, or had a smirk on her face. In the room, Guopai asked Himo to take off his mask. The right side of his face had a large area of necrosis. Guopai pierced a few silver needles into the back of his face and then used the miniaturized airplane to quickly cut off the necrotic rotten flesh. After that, he gently applied the snow muscle pill powder that he had prepared beforehand on the right side of Himo's face. A trace of coolness made Himo couldn't help but cry out. Eat this. You will feel more comfortable. Guopai then handed Himo a snow muscle pill. Guopai cared a lot about this disciple of his. Himo took the snow muscle pill. Guopai had almost finished boiling the Chinese medicine. Swallow it. Don't spit it out. If you want to recover, you must swallow it all. Guopai said loudly. This last bowl of Chinese medicine had a lot of expensive herbs. Guopai didn't want Himo to waste it because it was too bitter. Beast, what a beast. Xiao Qian clenched his teeth and said loudly. This kind of person wants us to follow him. I actually believed him. Shameless bastard. I remember now. Before we came here, someone in our dormitory knew about his background. He is one of the 4 pests of Wu Castle, the 5 poisons. Guoda, I will wait for you outside. Rest for a few minutes and wash your face. At this time, Guopai came out of the room. His clothes were soaked in sweat. He gently closed the door. Seeing a group of students glaring at him, he was stunned. You were fine just now. What happened? I'm going to change my clothes. I have been busy for half a day, and my clothes are wet. Guopai said as he turned around and prepared to leave. Hall Master, you are really our good Hall Master. Where's Himo? What did you do to Himo? Xiao Qian said loudly. At this time, Liu didn't dare to stop Xiao Qian. She is in the room, but she will come out later. Guopai said with a smile. Go get some of your clothes and give them to Himo. She probably won't be able to wear her clothes. What are you guys waiting for? Go get your things. When Himo comes out in 10 minutes, we'll be ready to go. Yuer ran into the room obediently. You can't go. Su Tu, call the police. Xiao Qian said loudly. Su Tu was ready to call the police. Guopai's mind reading ability fell on Xiao Qian and Su Tuesday. He immediately knew what happened. Damn it, his brother was trying to save a person, but there was a problem. Don't call the police. Bugyaku's matter. Let Bugyaku solve it himself. Guopai said with a smile. Xiao Qian, I know what you were thinking. but you should wait for Himo to come out before you make your decision. Most of the time, what you hear and the truth are completely different. Yes, we can't call the police. If the police come, Himo's life will be ruined. Liu said loudly. Liu, what are you talking about? What do you mean my life will be ruined? Just when they were in a deadlock, the door of the room opened again. Himo came out of the room in sportswear. Unlike before, she didn't wear a mask or a hat this time. You are Himo, Xiao, Qian stammered. Since the beginning of the freshman year, Takashi University had known that a girl wearing a mask came to the College of Western Medicine. Her figure was hot, but her face couldn't be seen. Today, they finally saw her face. She was beautiful, a pure and refined sportswear girl. Her appearance was not inferior to Liu Yaoshi's. Himo walked to Guopai's side, bowed deeply to Guopai, and said excitedly, "Master, I am really cured." Thank you. Later, I'll give you a prescription. You just need to follow the prescription and get a few more sets of medicine. Only then can the poison left behind by the ghastly 13 needles be completely removed. You'll be truly healed, was said with an evil smile. Headmaster, were you treating Himo just now? Su-Tu asked in a low voice. What else could I be doing if not treating? Guopai said with a smile. I told you at the beginning that if you want to be a good doctor, you must pay attention to observation. If you don't see it with your own eyes, it may not be true. Even if you see it with your own eyes, it may be false. Don't just stand there. Let's go to the Xiaofeng Chinese herbal medicine wholesale market. Get ready to go. Chapter 134. On the way, several students' faces turned red. They thought too much. The owner was really treating Himo. When they were in school, someone said that there was a scar on Himo's face, so he always wore a mask. Now that the mask was taken off, it could only mean one thing. Guopai cured Himo, little Imo. Did Gua Scoundrel really cure your face? Jia Xiao, who was also a freshman, asked softly. She had seen Himo's face before, and she was scared at that time. Now Himo's face was really cured. Master's medical skills are beyond our scope of understanding. Xiao, you must cherish your time in Bugyaku. In the future, your name will definitely be recorded in the medical history of Huaxia. Himo said with a smile. Since childhood, he had never been so happy. Which girl didn't like to be beautiful? This was the first time since he was 10 years old that Himo took off his mask and talked like a normal person. At first, we thought something happened to you, Jia Xiao said with a red face. The other people in the car also lowered their heads. They really misunderstood Guopai. Today, I don't ask much of you. 100,000 yuan per person. You should have a rough idea of the price of the herbs. Go and buy it. I hope what I taught you yesterday was not in vain. Guopai said with a smile. Of course, if you find something good, I have more here if you don't have enough money. Haha. Boss, those students are here again. Several young people who were wandering in the parking lot ran into the market and reported to several bosses who had a good relationship with each other. Haha. I thought they would come again after a few days. I didn't expect them to come again so soon. Several bosses laughed and said, these students were definitely fat sheep. Boss, the color of your Angelica is not right. Do you have more? If not, I will go to other pharmacies. Su-Tu said with a smile to the boss of the pharmacy where he had suffered a loss last time. Little brother, it was like this last time. Smell it. The smell of medicine. The color is absolutely authentic. The boss said with a smile. Boss, this is the water you soaked in Angelica. If you dare to drink it, I'll take all the Angelica in this bag. Su-Tu said loudly, attracting the attention of the surrounding merchants who were buying medicine to surround the boss. Student, let's talk inside. The boss looked at Su-Tu again. That's right, it was this student from last time. How did he change so much in just one night? He didn't dare to drink the Angelica water. Although it wouldn't kill him, it definitely wouldn't feel good in his stomach. In the end, the boss was afraid that Su-Tu would tell the people outside about his store, so he honestly packed a big bag of high-quality Angelica for Su-Tu's day. He didn't even dare to charge a higher price. Fellow countrymen, do you have any more wild ginseng? I want some more. Shun Jiadi came to his fellow countryman and asked with a smile, Brother, come in. It's so hot outside. That ginseng is not bad, right? I have a lot of it here. You can take your pick. As he spoke, he pulled out several large boxes for Chunjiati. They were filled with ginseng. Big sister, these ginsengs are all cultivated ginsengs. Do you have any better ones? Chunjiati asked with a smile. You still want wild ginseng? Okay, wait a moment. I'll get it for you. As she spoke, the woman took down a large bag from the shelf. Inside was her collection over the years. There were more than 100 ginseng in total. There were only about 10 real wild ginseng. The rest were all fakes. She wasn't afraid of the student in front of her picking them out because she knew that this student's eyesight was good. Big sister, these ginseng are also 10,000 yuan per ginseng. Chunjiati asked the female boss while holding a ginseng that was similar to the one he bought last time. Brother, I really don't make much profit from this 10,000 yuan per ginseng. We are fellow countrymen, so I'll give you 10,000 yuan per ginseng. You can choose. The woman said frankly. Chunjiati smiled and began to look at the ginseng one by one. After about half an hour, when the female boss came back to her senses and looked at Chunjiati, her face was livid. Chunjiati had already chosen 10 ginseng. Except for the first two that were fakes, the rest were all real. They were all wild ginseng that were more than 6 years old. 10,000 yuan? Even 100,000 yuan couldn't buy a real wild ginseng. Fellow countrymen, I'll take these 10 ginseng. Here's the money. I'll pay you back when I have time. Chunjiati said with a smile. He put the money on the table, took the ginseng, and turned to leave. Big brother, please stay. You can't leave. I won't sell these ginseng. The woman said loudly with a crying voice. Won't sell? I'm recording. I'm not robbing you. I've already given you the money. How can I not sell them just because you say so? Chunjiati said loudly. Yesterday, I bought a ginseng that was worth less than 100 yuan for 10,000 yuan. I didn't say I won't buy it. Today, big sister, you said you won't sell it. It seems that I can't do that. Guopai heard the quarrel between Chunjiati and the woman. He walked over with a smile. He knew that Chunjiati had come for revenge and had succeeded. Big brother, what I did yesterday was wrong. I admit defeat. I'll compensate you with a wild ginseng. You can't take all these away. The woman pulled Chunjiati and said loudly, Emperor Jia, where it's possible to make mistakes, one should forgive them. The boss promised to give you a wild ginseng. Let's forget about this matter. Let's go look at other things. Guopai said to Chunjiati with a smile. Chunjiati nodded gently. The woman bowed deeply to Guopai with gratitude. Chunjiati followed Guopai out of the pharmacy. Chunjiati asked softly, Owner, why didn't you let me teach him a lesson? The ginseng in her shop is not bad. At least they are cultivated ginseng, not those ginseng whose essence has been extracted. Everyone is greed. This person is not too bad. Always leave a way out so that you can meet again in the future. Maybe one day you will come here to buy ginseng again, and she will not lie to you. Guopai said with a smile. Chunjiati nodded gently. This might be the difference between Chinese medicine and Western medicine. In about an hour, each of the 18 students bought a few bags of Chinese medicine. This time was very good, except for a few who bought some ordinary Chinese medicine. Most of the Chinese medicine bought were of good quality. Guopai nodded with satisfaction. Looking at the pharmacies these students had visited, the bosses were all livid. They originally wanted to make a small profit, but they didn't expect to be ruthlessly cheated by these students. Owner, today is really satisfying. You didn't see that the boss who sold me the medicine yesterday was like a wolf seeing a sheep when he saw me. It was as if the money in my pocket had been given to him. Later, his face turned black. There were other buyers in the shop, so he watched me put the good quality Chinese medicine in his shop into my bag. Ha! Lu Feng of the College of Traditional Chinese Medicine said with a smile. The other students also nodded. It seemed that this time, they really vented their anger. Chapter 135. What? You're saying that Guopai is opening a clinic on Xinglin Street? Opening this Saturday? Ha, good, very good. It seems that there are a few girls in Wu Castle who have overdosed. Send them to him. Since Guotian's son is opening a clinic, I have to send something to him. The woman at the top floor of Wu Castle said loudly as she finished the red wine in her glass. Black Dragon ran out of the room as if he was running away. Brother Shanha, this guy is quite active recently. I've already asked around. He's opening on Saturday. We haven't been able to find a Nangong Lingma you mentioned. In a hotel in Wu Castle City, Xiaoho River whispered to Xiaoho River. Then let's wait for another 2 days. When the time comes, I'll go and meet this scoundrel Gua. I want to see just how capable this guy, who killed little Tian, is, Xiaoho Shanha said viciously. Bugyaku, wait until Saturday. I want to see if your Bugyaku can continue to open a clinic on Xinglin Street. Hu Booby left Xinglin Street, but he didn't leave Wu Castle City. With his good medical skills, he managed to establish a foothold in a small hospital. However, his hatred for Guopai deepened. Guopai, Moron Weiwei, just you wait. I want to see what a kid who hasn't even graduated from high school can open a clinic on Saturday. Kong Ifu said fiercely as he smashed the glass in his hand. Guopai naturally didn't know that so many people were thinking about the opening of his clinic. Now, he was leading all the students of Bugyaku to celebrate. Headmaster, to be honest, when you represented the College of Traditional Chinese Medicine to win the medical competition against the College of Western Medicine, I didn't really admire you. You were too young. If you told others that you were a traditional Chinese medicine practitioner, no one would believe you. However, after being with you for 2 days, I really admire you. I don't know what you will do with us, but in short, I will follow you until the end, Lin Luo Shan said loudly. Chinese medicine is broad and profound. I didn't think so before, but now I'm looking forward to the day when I switch from Western medicine to Chinese medicine. I hope that you won't be conservative and teach us everything you know, Qinkuan Shun said with a smile. I'm very satisfied with your performance today. I hope that you can continue to follow me. I hope that you can all make achievements in traditional Chinese medicine and become real doctors. A doctor who has the heart of a parent and a doctor who will be praised by others. Guopai said with a smile. On Saturday, many people will come to Bugyaku for the opening ceremony. There will be friends, but there will also be troublemakers. However, I believe that we can use our strength to drive the troublemakers out. After Guopai finished speaking, the 18 students applauded thunderously. Time passed quickly. On Friday night, Guopai once again checked the things that Bugyaku needed to prepare for the opening ceremony tomorrow. He looked at the full moon in the sky. He couldn't waste the moonlight today. He sat cross-legged and waited for Saturday's breakfast. Lao Si, I came early to see if there's anything you need me to do. Just tell me. The people in the parking lot opposite said that you've already talked to their boss. Is there anything else? Jia Yuan arrived at Bugyaku before 6 o'clock in the morning. Recently, Fatty Jia had finally been accepted by the people he told. However, he went back home and ate something that scared his grandmother. Therefore, he didn't dare to go home recently. This is the opening ceremony of my medical center. What can happen? You just need to stand at the door and watch out. Don't let anyone steal the furniture of my medical center, Guopai said with a smile. Damn, I don't want to do the job of guarding the door for half a day. Since there's nothing else, I'll go in and take a rest. You can prescribe me some medicine first. I've been suffering from insomnia recently, Jia Yuan said as he walked into the medical center and found a place to sit down. Lao Si, I came early. I haven't seen Big Brother and Second Brother recently. If they don't come to the opening ceremony of your medical center, don't let them drink the liquor in the future, Wang Sheng shouted before he entered the door. Lao San, you are so cunning. You won't let me and Brother Yao drink the liquor. Can you feel at ease drinking it alone? Jia Yuan heard Wang Sheng's voice and walked out to ask, Who are you to call me Lao San? Who are you? Are you looking for trouble? Get out of here quickly. Otherwise, when my Big Brother and Second Brother come, you won't even know how you died, Wang Sheng said loudly as he didn't recognize Jia Yuan, who had become thin. Lao San, I'm Jia Yuan. You can't recognize me, right? I know you can't recognize me. Lao Si gave me the diet medicine. How is it? Am I handsome now? Jia Yuan was no longer angry. In the past 2 days, such things had happened a lot. Look at my mouth. Get out. Wang Sheng said slowly. Why don't you say you are Liao? Lao San, I'm really Jia Yuan, Jia Yuan said loudly. If you were Jia Yuan, just now when I said get out, you would have already beaten me. Could it be that losing weight has changed your temperament? Who are you kidding? Wang Sheng said loudly. At this time, Liao walked in. Lao Air, Laosan didn't recognize you, right? Haha, when you go home, I will follow you. At that time, I will help you explain. Haha, you can scare the old lady to the point of hospitalization. You are really good, Jia Yuan. Liao looked at the thin Jia Yuan and the surprised Wang Sheng and said with a smile, You are really second brother. Let me see, how did you change so much? Wang Sheng said in surprise, Second brother, now that you've become like this, did you bully me in the past? Let's practice today. We're both on the same level now. After saying that, Wang Sheng threw a punch. Lao Air, don't hit so hard. Liao didn't stop him and said to Jia Yuan with a smile. 5 minutes later, Wang Sheng was F***ed 7 times. When he got up again, except for the injury on his head, there was no place on his body that felt comfortable. Wang Sheng took off his shirt and saw bruises all over his body. Lao San, you can't beat him even if you take off all your clothes. Yesterday, when second brother came to find me, I almost suffered a loss. Li Yao said with a smile. No more fighting, what's it a fight? My clothes hurt when they stick to my body. What? Second brother can even spar with you? When did second brother become so powerful? Wang Sheng said, in surprise. Looking at Li Yao, it seemed that his big brother didn't lie. You have to ask Lao Si about this. I don't know what Lao Si fed second brother. Not only did it make him lose weight, but it also made second brother gain the inner strength that I spent 20 years to cultivate. The Xiantian realm, damn it, is really like a cabbage. Liao said loudly. Guo Pao, on the other hand, was looking at his third brother, the clown, with a smile. He came early in the morning to support him and fought a battle in the medical hall. This kind of support was rarely seen in the heavenly court. Third brother, although your figure is good, you should put on your clothes first. It will not look good when the staff of Bagyaku comes. Guo Pai said with a smile. Lao Si, how do you think your brother treats you? Wang Sheng walked in front of Guo Pai and said with a little anger. Although I haven't come to Bagyaku in the past 2 days, you can't be so biased. You made second brother so powerful. How am I going to live in the future? I don't care. Whatever you did to second brother, do it for me. Wang Sheng hugged Guo Pai's leg and said. Chapter 136. Guo Pai looked at his third brother, Knight Swordsman Wang Sheng. He had been following big brother Li Yao in the army since he was young. His physical fitness was good, and his shameless kung fu was no worse than Jia Yuan's. If he did not satisfy this brother of his, it would be difficult for Bagyaku to open for business today. Third brother, isn't it good to be a normal person? Why do you have to be like big brother and second brother? Guo Pai said with a smile. Man, I'm a man. Of course, the stronger the better, Wang Sheng said with a smile. Fourth brother, think about it. If I can't reach the innate realm, I won't be able to control second brother in the future. If he does something out of line, it'll be difficult to deal with him. Third brother, did you hit him too lightly just now? Jia Yuan said with narrowed eyes. Big brother, second brother, third brother, I can make you stronger, but you must remember my words. Since you've chosen the path of Wuxiu, you're no longer mortals. When Wuxiu reaches a certain level, you'll be suppressed by the heavens. Karma is a cycle, so don't use your martial arts too much. Guo Pai said softly. I hope that you Wuxiu can be like one person. Who? The living immortal of the Ming dynasty, Zhang Sanfeng. Guo Pai said with a smile. How strong was Zhang Sanfeng? He fought against hundreds of wandering cultivators alone and suppressed his strength. He was not affected by the heavens. Even the immortals of the upper realm would not dare to offend such a master in the lower realm who had the ability to kill immortals. Fourth brother, we understand what you mean. Don't worry, if people don't offend me, I won't offend them. If people offend me, I'll show them some courtesy. If they offend me again, I'll slaughter their whole family. This seems to be what sister-in-law said. Jia Yuan said with a smile. Big brother, second brother, there's something I need your help with, Guo said with an evil smile. Third brother, take this pill. There's a bathroom on the second floor. Take off your clothes and go there to take this thing. It'll hurt a little, but if you want to beat second brother, you have to bear with it. Whether you can absorb the pill's effect to that extent depends on yourself. What do you need us to do? Liao asked with a smile. I'm going to Takashi University affiliated high school to pick up my wife and your sister-in-law. I almost forgot about this. Guo Pai said with a smile. Big brother, second brother, I'll have to trouble you to make this trip. It just so happens that both of you can bring everyone here. Without further ado, Liao, Jia Yuan drove straight to the high school affiliated to Wu Castle. Roaring sounds came from the washroom on the second floor of Bugyaku. Guo Pai smiled. Third brother was really going all out in order to beat second brother. Naughty boy, you're early today. Who's on the second floor? You arrived at Bugyaku before 7 o'clock, followed by Lu Yaoshi and Leng Shuang. Don't worry about it. A friend is using the washroom. Maybe she's constipated. Ha! Guo Pai said with a smile. Go in and change your clothes later. I forgot to ask you to take them back to change yesterday. Guo Pai said with a smile, pointing to a row of suitcases at the door with the names of 18 students written on them. Let's go and change. Yu took the two of them into the two rooms at the back of Bugyaku, where Guo Pai and the others had planned to live. Naughty boy, you even bought underwear, and the models are all right. What a pervert. Yu said loudly when she saw Lu Yaoshi take out the underwear from the suitcase. The underwear was indeed bought by Guo Pai. At first, he was going to buy a set for everyone. Later, he felt that something was wrong, so he put in Lu Yaoshi, Leng Shuang, and Hemo's underwear. Who would have thought that he would be caught red-handed by Yu? Lu Yaoshi and Leng Shuang's faces turned red. They didn't know whether to change or not. Later, Yu said with a smile, Naughty boy, just change. Anyway, this pervert is not bad. I won't be jealous. The uniforms in Bugyaku were well made. They were made of pure cotton, white for the girls and black for the boys. It had the charm of the Tang dynasty. The three words Bugyaku were written by Guo Pai. When he went to order the clothes, the boss of the clothing store was shocked. When the three girls came out of the house, the other students had also arrived in Bugyaku. Each of them took a suitcase and quickly went to change. After 10 minutes, the 18 people were all changed. The 9 boys and 9 girls stood in 2 rows. Guo Pai smiled with satisfaction. This was the effect he wanted. Their clothes matched the overall layout of Bugyaku very well. Master, don't you want to change your clothes too? Your sportswear doesn't match us. Li said with a smile. Guo Pai looked at himself. He forgot to order clothes for himself, but fortunately, Lao Jun had a good set of clothes in his gourd. Thinking about it, Guo Pai walked into the house. Fourth brother, come out and pick up your wife. We brought her here. You pervert. You won't even let a child go. Jia Yuan shouted into the house. Because Nangong Lingmo was in his car, he was completely speechless to his fourth brother. Nangong Lingmo, second brother, do you think the Xiantian realm is very awesome? Why don't we have a competition now? Guo Pai came out of the house. He was wearing a Taoist robe. Yes, it was indeed a Taoist robe, but the color was a little bright and the material could not be seen. However, when Guo Pai wore it, he actually looked like an immortal. Fourth brother, where did you buy these clothes? How much are they? These clothes are necessary for showing off. Jia Yuan stepped forward and said with a smile. He did not notice that the 18 students and Guo Pai's girls who had just entered Bugyaku were all stunned. Bad guy brother, your clothes are so handsome. Tang, she said with a smile. She stepped forward and helped Guo Pai adjust his cuffs. I haven't seen you for a few days, and you've already attracted so many women. Humph. Yizi looked at the girls in Bugyaku and whispered in a low voice. The girls had different expressions. Guo Pai smiled at them. Today, the girls were dressed very well. Tang Shi and Murong Weiwei were in long dresses. Su Yi and Yu Yu were in sportswear. Sun Lingling and Lin Shuang were in business suits. Nangong Lingmo was carrying a small bag. It seemed that she was not going to return empty-handed. Just put the flower baskets aside and wait outside. Xiao Yun Tian, 7-star Mantis Fist King Tian Luo, and 7-injury Fist Xie Yukuwei walked into Bugyaku with a few people around their age. 3 large flower baskets were placed in front of Bugyaku's door. Little you, we 3 old guys are not late, right? Xiao Yun Tian said with a smile. Little you said that Bugyaku's opening today will only treat 10 people. Let's queue up first. Guopai smiled and nodded. He looked at the two old men behind the three. Although they were a few meters away, he could still feel the aura of the two old men. They were at the late stage of the Xiantian realm. They were definitely at the late stage of the Xiantian realm. Old Xiao, Old Wang, Old Xie, please come in and have a seat. We'll be busy today. Please forgive us if we can't take care of you. Guopai said with a smile. Xiao Qian, bring the three seniors inside. Chao Qinquan had followed his father to the seven-star Mantis Fist Dojo and recognized Wang Tianluo. Wow, the dojo master is so capable. That person should be Wang Tianluo, Grandpa Wang, the leader of the seven-star Mantis Fist Dojo. He actually came in person for the opening of our clinic. It seems that he has a good relationship with our dojo master. Chapter 137. Young Master, the old master and madam are here. Guopai's housekeeper ran into the clinic and whispered to Guopai. Guopai hurriedly went forward to greet them, and several girls also followed him out. Grandpa, Grandma, you came too early. I haven't even set off the firecrackers yet. Guopai said with a smile. You guys accompany Grandpa and Grandma inside to sit. Muron Weiwei and several others supported the old madam as they walked into the house. Brother Shanhe, the few people who just went in are the sect leader of the Baji Collapse sect, Xiao Yun Tian, the sect leader of the Seven Stars Mantis Fist sect, Wang Tianluo, and the sect leader of the Seven Damages Fist sect, Xie Kuei. The three of them are already Xiantian late-stage masters, and the two people behind them are also Xiantian late-stage masters. Today, if we want to find trouble with this Guopai, I'm afraid it won't be easy. In a building diagonally opposite Bugyaku, Xiaohou looked at the binoculars and reported to Xiaohou River. I'm sure that little Tian's death is definitely related to this Guopai. I didn't expect this kid to have some friendship with the sect leaders of the three major sections. But since their clinic is open for business, no one can stop us from going to see a doctor. Even if we don't kill him today, we won't let him open Bugyaku smoothly. Xiaohou River said in a low voice. A plate of 10,000 red firecrackers was lit at the entrance of Bugyaku at 8:08 sharp. The crackling sound of the firecrackers attracted many people to stop in their tracks. At this time, many clinics on Xinglin Street had opened for business. The doctors of the other clinics on Xinglin Street remembered that Bugyaku, which they had come to find trouble with during the renovation, was going to open for business today. Old Bai Bugyaku is opening for business. Should we go and take a look? A doctor of the clinic asked by Mushing with a smile. Of course, we'll go and see who the owner of Bugyaku is. The youth that day seemed to be called Guopai, a student of Wu Castle's affiliated high school, and the best contestant of Wu Castle's literary competition. I don't believe that he is the owner. How old is he? How much can he know about Chinese medicine? Bai Mushing said in a low voice. Hu Booby called me yesterday. He said that he will also come. He deserves to leave Xinglin Street. He doesn't believe that kid can make any trouble. The doctor said with a smile. I don't care who it is, but with the current situation of Chinese medicine, we can't allow a quack to appear. I'd rather not have a clinic open than allow a quack to appear on Xinglin Street. Bai Musheng said softly. Oh, Bai, look, it's a car from the Chinese Medicine Association. It looks like the president and the rest. The doctor saw a black car with a red flag. It was not flashy, but the license plate was very eye-catching. It was undoubtedly a car from the Chinese Medicine Association. Let's go. It should be President Lin and the rest. Bai Mushing said with a smile. Lin Changtian was here. If the owner of this clinic was not capable, he would probably close for the day. Bai Musheng and the doctor walked to the front of the car. Lin Changtian came out of the car, followed by the ghost Dr. Zhang Tianzheng and the martial Dr. Wu Shushan. Behind them, a pickup truck stopped and unloaded 5 flower baskets. Not only the 3 of them were there, but there were also alchemist Qin Long and fire Dr. Sun Sheng's names. This made Bai Musheng and the doctor's jaw drop. President Lin, I'm Xiao Bai. Why are you here personally? Do you know the owner? Bai Musheng stepped forward and asked. I know him, of course I know him. Today is the opening of Bugyaku. We have another strong doctor in the field of Chinese medicine. I hope that Chinese medicine can rise again, Lin Chantian said with a smile. Xiao Bai, Xiao Lu, Bugyaku, if there's anything, help little bad. After all, you're the pillars of Xinglin Street. Bai Musheng and the doctor were stunned. It seemed that the owner of Bugyaku had some skills. Little bad, could it be that the guy called Guopai was the owner of Bugyaku? Was there someone else in Bugyaku? With doubts, Bai Musheng and Lu Yunfei followed Lin Chantian into Bugyaku. Guopai, little you, we're not late, right? Lin Chantian looked at Guopai and said with a smile, Qin Long and Sun Sheng are here. They should be here soon. Bugyaku is opening for business today. It's just a small token of my respect, Lin Chantian said as he handed over a red packet. Guopai didn't stand on ceremony. He took the red packet and welcomed Lin Chantian and the others in. Little you, I wonder who the owner of Bugyaku is. Today is the opening day. You should let us meet him, Bai Musheng said with a smile. Owner Bai, don't be anxious. There will definitely be people coming for treatment today. You'll know when the time comes. Haha, Guopai said with a smile. The people from the Western Medicine Association are here. Lu Yunfei saw 2 cars arrogantly parked in front of Bugyaku. Looking at the license plate, he knew that the people in the cars were from the Western Medicine Association. They probably didn't come with good intentions. So be it. I want to see who dares to cause trouble when my 4th brother's medical center opens, Jia Yuan said loudly. 4th brother, accompany them. I'll go take a look. 2nd brother, Bugyaku is opening for business today. Everyone who comes is a guest. You don't have to worry about it. If you want to help, you can go in and record it. Leave the rest to me. Guopai smiled as he took the red packet from Lin Chantian and went out alone to welcome Jia Yuan. Where's the owner of Bugyaku? The Western Medicine Association is here to pay a visit. A group of 8 people walked in. Please come in first. If you want to see the owner, go in and wait. There are many people who want to see the owner. He's not someone you can meet just because you want to, Guopai said with a smile as he looked at the 8 people. Sharp-tongued brat. To tell you the truth, although your medical center is a traditional Chinese medical center, if you want to open for business, you have to show some real skills. Otherwise, if you don't care, we, the Western Medicine Association, will take care of it, the leading old man said loudly. Dong Kuan, we're here. You don't have to worry about traditional Chinese medicine, Lin Chantian said with a frown as he walked out of the room. Old man Lin, traditional Chinese medicine is declining. The more medical centers, the better. If Bugyaku can't show some real skills and you can't bear to take care of it, we, the Western Medicine Association, don't mind taking care of it on behalf of the medical community, Dong Kuan said loudly. Whether they have real skills or not, we'll treat 10 people in Bugyaku today. We'll talk about it when the time comes. Also, 10 days after the opening of Bugyaku, I'll bring the staff of Bugyaku to pay a visit to the Western Medicine Association. I hope you'll be prepared, Guopai said with a smile. Ha, Guopai, little you good job. When you go to the College of Western Medicine, bring me, Lao Qin, with you, Qin Sheng said with a smile. Qin Long and Sun Sheng walked in from outside. Qin Long said with a smile, it's just a small token of my respect. I wonder if the vice president of the Western Medicine Association, Bugyaku, doesn't know how to bring gifts when opening. Qin Long's words made the faces of the group of people from the Western Medicine Association turn red. It wasn't the first time they came to the opening of a traditional Chinese medical center, but they had never met someone like Guopai. Bringing gifts? No one had told them about this before. Old man Qin, please come in. The opening of a traditional Chinese medical center is different from the opening of the College of Western Medicine. They don't understand, so we won't bother about it. It's just a matter of adding an extra pair of chopsticks when you eat, Guopai said with a smile. As soon as Guo Piao finished speaking, the faces of the few people from the Western Medicine Association turned even redder. They hadn't even succeeded in challenging the dojo yet, and the other party didn't take them seriously at all. It felt like they were just freeloaders. Chapter 138. Big Brother Bad Guy. The teacher is here. Murong Wei walked into the house and whispered to Guopai. Guopai smiled and took Murong Wei's hand to the door to welcome Master Yufeng. Little Yu's clinic is opening. This old man came uninvited. Master Yufeng got out of the car with a middle-aged man beside him. He had a square face and a dignified appearance. Guopai did not know who this person was, but Murong Weiwei knew who this person was. It was her senior, Gu Ao Bei. Master Yufeng is too polite. Please come in, Guopai said with a smile. Weiwei, the master likes peace and quiet. Bring the master to the backyard first. He will probably be busy today, so please forgive him if there is anything wrong with his hospitality. Go ahead. I'm not here to see a doctor today. I'm here to look at the calligraphy. The 3 words Bugyaku were written by Little Yu, right? So you didn't put in your best effort when you wrote the calligraphy in my house that day. Haha. Master Yufeng laughed and walked in. Master, this is our junior, right? Gu Ao Bei looked at Murong Weiwei and asked, Greetings, Senior Gu. Murong Weiwei smiled and said to Gu Ao Bei, Can we not talk about calligraphy today? It's not easy to attend the opening of Big Brother Bad Guy's clinic, so let's not talk about calligraphy today. Haha. Okay, I'll listen to Weiwei today. Master Yufeng said with a smile. Ao Bei, go to the gift room and send a red packet over. Today, we'll see the profound Chinese medicine of Huaxia. I just found out that Weiwei's little boyfriend knows medicine. Huh. Master Yufeng's words made Murong Weiwei's face turn red, but her heart was sweet. Shi Yao Mian came uninvited. Little Yu won't be angry, right? The moment Guopai walked to the door, Shi Yao Mian, the boss of the pharmacy where he had bought 100-year-old ginseng, walked in. Little Yu has just opened for business. Xinzhong Pharmacy has sent some ginseng and glossy Ganoderma to you. Please accept it. As he spoke, the 2 people behind him carried a medicine box and placed it in front of Guopai. Guopai lightly sucked in a breath. This Shi Yao Mian was really generous. 300-year-old ginseng and 300-year-old Ganoderma. It seemed that the medicinal pill that Big Brother gave you back then was quite effective. Thank you, Boss Sure. I'll take it. Please come in. I have a few more pills with me. I'll pass them to Boss Sure later. I hope Boss Sure won't refuse them. Guopai laughed. Shi Yao Mian's heart was blooming with joy. Decline? Only if his head was kicked by a donkey would he decline. Then I'll thank Little Yu first, Shi Yao Mian said with a smile. Then he called the head of the Shi family. On the other side of the phone, the head of the Shi family shouted excitedly, You must be on good terms with Little Yu. Whatever he needs, as long as our pharmacy has it, we'll provide it to him for free. Guopai, opening a medical center is such a big thing. Why didn't you call me and tell me about it? Don't you plan to contact me, old man Li, after leaving the affiliated high school? Li Xuanyu said loudly when Ren Xuanzi and the others arrived at the entrance of Bugyaku by car. Old master, what are you talking about? This is the opening of a medical center, unlike other openings. I don't dare to disturb you. Come in, come in. 6 Master Ren, please come in too, Guopai said with a smile. Li Xuanyu, Ren Xuanzi, and the others handed the red packets to Jia Yuan. Jia Yuan took them with a smile. Needless to say, he had received a lot of red packets for the opening of his 4th brother's medical center. Bad guy, congratulations. Murong Fei and Murong Long walked over from the opposite side of Xinglin Street and handed over a big red packet. Guopai smiled and threw it to Jia Yuan. Little Fei, brother-in-law, please come in, Guopai said with a smile. Your father-in-law is behind us. We can't go in first, Murong Long said with a smile. Murong Weiwei seemed to have received a call from Murong Gu and had already walked into the courtyard. When she saw Murong Long and Murong Fei, she greeted them with a smile. 4th brother, hurry up and go out. My grandfather is here. Liao ran out of the house and said loudly to Guopai. You told the old master? Guopai was stunned and asked softly. I didn't tell him. The opening of your medical center is no big deal. I don't know why he's here, Liao said with a smile. Since he's here, go and welcome him. Guopai smiled and nodded. It seemed that the opening of Bugyaku today was not going to be easy. Big brother, 4th brother, where are you going? My old master is here. Let's go together, Wang Sheng said loudly as he walked out from inside. Yes, Wang Yongjin was here too. What? Old master, why didn't you say so earlier? Where are you? Jia Yuan said, loudly into the phone. Okay. I'll go out right away. Jia Yuan hung up the phone and ran to Guopao's side. What are you going to do? I'm telling you, that old antique in my house is crazy. He's already at Xinglin Street. He asked me to pick him up. Before Jia Yuan finished speaking, he saw more than 10 bodyguards surrounding the 3 old men and walking towards Bugyaku. Fourth brother, you're quite influential. Why are the 3 old men here? Jia Yuan said softly. I didn't contact them. Maybe it was my old master who contacted them. Guopai said with a smile, let them in quickly. Brat, after all these years, you've finally done something serious. But let me tell you, if you don't have any real skills, get out of here. If there's a medical accident, these old men won't clean up your mess. Li Doqian said loudly. Grandpa Li, listen to what you're saying. Today is the opening of my clinic. I'm not happy with what you said. Red packets. Don't make other red packets. Give me the red packets first. Otherwise, I won't give you lunch today, Guopai said with a smile. He was not afraid of the old men in front of him like his 3 brothers. He could joke as much as he wanted. After all, he was a junior and had a thick skin. Old Jia, you said you prepare the red packets. You can't drop the ball at this critical moment. Wang Yongjin said loudly. I'm not old yet. Look carefully. I'm holding the red packets. As he said that, he handed 3 thick red packets to Guopai. Brat, we're eating here today. You must have your wine, even if you don't have it. Grandpas, please come in. My old master is on the 2nd floor. Please take a seat. I guarantee that you'll have a good drink today. Guopai said with a smile. F***CK. The red packets are only worth this much. I'm still planning to freeload. Jia Yuan took the red packet and opened it to take a look. He didn't expect that Jia Guyun would hear him. The 3 old fellows had actually beaten up Jia Yuan, who was a Xiantian realm cultivator. This made the few of them burst into laughter. Father-in-law, you seem to be in good spirits recently. I didn't expect that brother-in-law didn't comprehend much of the Tai Chi ancient scripture. You've comprehended quite a lot. Guopai said with a smile to Morongu, who had just entered the courtyard. Brat, be careful today. There are some people who are looking for trouble with you. I hope you can deal with them yourself. Morongu said with a smile as he threw a red packet to Guopai. Father-in-law, please come in. No matter what happens today, I can handle it. Just wait and see. Go to the 2nd floor. Master Yufeng, Wei Wei, and my grandpas are all on the 2nd floor. Guopai said with a smile. Chapter 139. In the next hour, Bugyaku became lively. After the arrival of the 3 elders of the Li, Jia, and Wang families, the officials of Wu Castle, the business circle of Wu Castle, and the military circle of Wu Castle seemed to have heard some news. People who were not related to the Guo family gathered in Bugyaku. This made those people from the Chinese Medicine Association, who were prepared to cause trouble, surprised. They did not expect the background of this Bugyaku to be so deep. No matter who comes, if this Bugyaku does not have any real ability, they will not be able to interfere in our medical circle. Dong Kuan said softly, Headmaster, there are a few students outside. They say they are your classmates. Chun Jiadi ran into the room and said with a smile, Today's opening ceremony of Bugyaku made the 18 students of Bugyaku stunned by the ability of the headmaster, who was younger than them. I did not expect them to come. Daju, go and greet them. Guopai said with a smile. Daju ran out quickly. Is this Guopai really the headmaster of this medical center? I wonder who the chief physician of this medical center is. Since the College of Traditional Chinese Medicine and the Society pay so much attention to him, he must not be an ordinary person. Ba Mushing said softly. Little Bai, the chief physician of this medical center, is also Guopai. You will know in a while. This Guopai is not simple. Since you are all in Xinglin Street, I hope you can communicate more with each other and let Chinese medicine regain its glory. Lin Chantian said softly. This time, Bai Mushing was completely shocked. The chief physician of this medical center was actually this kid. It seemed that he really had to take a good look. He hoped that there would be some patients coming to the opening ceremony today. Otherwise, this opening ceremony would be a big joke. Guopai, little you, it's almost time. You said that you'll be treating 10 people today. We're already in the queue. The one who spoke was Xiao Yun Tian, the head of Baji Blast. The old man he brought this time was his senior fellow apprentice. 30 years ago, he was plotted against during a martial arts exchange in Country R and had been suffering from insidious diseases for 30 years. He hoped that Guopai could cure him this time. I don't know which patient of Baji Ben's needs treatment. We, the Western Medicine Association, hope to see the patient before we start the treatment in Bugyaku, Dong Kuan said with a smile. He knew that the main show was coming. You came to Bugyaku with great fanfare, most likely to support Bugyaku. It was nothing more than finding a person with no major problems for them to treat and build momentum for them. You're Dong Kuan, the vice president of the Western Medicine Association. I've seen you before when I went to the Western Medicine Association. I don't think I need to be treated by the Western Medicine Association. Back then, even Lu Xiongfeng couldn't do anything about it. Can you see anything? The old man sitting next to Xiao Yun Tian slowly stood up. A strong pressure appeared in the whole room, making Dong Kuan a little breathless. At this time, he also found that he had seen the old man in front of him before. Baji Ben's Xiao Feiyang. No wonder you look familiar. It turns out that you're the martial arts master, Brother Xiao. Li Doqian said with a smile. Back then, Brother Xiao suppressed 7 ninjutsu masters of Country R and became a hero in Huaxia. I still remember. Brother Li, you must be joking. I just recognized you, but today is the opening day of the medical center. Let's have a good chat later. Xiao Feiyang said with a smile. So you're the senior of Baji Ben's. It's fine to let the people from the Western Medicine Association take a look at you again. We all know what they mean. Chinese medicine is pure, and so are you. I want them to be convinced. Guopai stood in front of everyone and said loudly, All right, it's all because of Brother Xiao Feiyang's good-for-nothing grandson. I think many people in Wu Castle are blind. Haha. Xiao Feiyang said with a smile. Dong Kuan, since you guys want to take a look at me again, come and take a look together. Dong Kuan gritted his teeth. Fine, I'll go up. I want to see what kind of illness it is that the Western Medicine Association can't treat. The Western Medicine Association came prepared this time. They brought a complete set of instruments. After about 15 minutes, Dong Kuan and the people from the Western Medicine Association all changed their expressions. Old Xiao, your body. Dong Kuan didn't know what to say. He couldn't imagine that Xiao Feiyang could still stand in front of him with such serious injuries instead of waiting for death with tubes inserted all over his body. About half of my meridians have ruptured. The yin poison has entered my heart. If I didn't use my inner qi to protect my heart, I would have died long ago, Xiao Feiyang said with a smile. Using your Western medicine's words, it's heart muscle atrophy, clogged arteries, or something that can't be treated. Old Xiao, we can't treat your illness, Dong Kuan said softly. It was true that they couldn't treat it. There wasn't any medicine in Western medicine that could treat such a large area of necrosis of the meridians. He didn't believe that Chinese medicine could do it either. So, now I can ask Guopai and Lu Yu to take a look at me, Xiao Feiyang said with a smile. He didn't have much hope anymore. For so many years, he was attacked by the yin poison. Every time it rained, he would be in so much pain that he wanted to die. However, a few days ago, his junior brother, Xiao Yun Tian, came back from the outside with his hidden injuries recovered. This gave him a huge shock. It also gave him hope to recover. He even said that he didn't need to be cured completely. As long as he could alleviate some of the pain and live well for a few more years, he would be satisfied. Guopai took a step forward and placed 3 fingers on Xiao Feiyang's wrist. His face turned serious. He didn't expect that the meridians of this old man in front of him would be invaded by the yin poison to such an extent. To be able to endure the torture for so many years, he must have a strong mind. Little you, how is it? You don't have to force yourself. I know my body, and I didn't have much hope. Xiao Feiyang said softly as he looked at Guopai's serious expression. The poison has already entered your bone marrow. All your organs have been corroded by the yin poison. It's like soaking a piece of wood in wine. The wood itself has already become wine. Ordinary medicine won't be able to force the yin poison out. Guopai said softly, I'm impressed that Senior Xiao can endure for so many years. What's the point of saying so much? Just tell me if there's a way. Little Dojo Master Wa is really good. He actually got Baji Bins to help. Haha, Chinese medicine is really amazing. Dong Kuan said loudly. You're Dong Kuan, right? Chinese medicine is really amazing. I can treat old Zhao's poison. Why are you so excited? Guo Pai smiled as he looked at Dong Kuan and the other 7 people from the Western Medicine Association. If you can treat the poison in old Zhao's body, I'll take you as my master and learn Chinese medicine from you. Dong Kuan shouted. He didn't believe it. He couldn't believe that a 16 or 17-year-old kid dared to say that he could treat Xiao Feiyang's poison. The poison had already entered his bone marrow. Could it be that he could still cleanse it? Forget about taking me as your master. I have my principles when it comes to accepting disciples. You could take a look. This girl is my disciple. No matter how you look at her, she's more pleasing to the eye than you. Guo Pai pointed at Mo and said with a smile. Chapter 140. Brat, this old man won't argue with you. If you can really cure old Zhao's poison, in the future, when we Western medicine doctors meet Bugyaku, we will take the initiative to give way and pay respect to you. Dong Kuan said softly. Since everyone is here, I'll let everyone be witnesses and let you see how I, Bugyaku, will treat old Xiao. Guo Pai stood up and said loudly, Yao sure, I'll write a prescription in a while. You go and get the medicine according to this prescription. Xiao Qian, Emperor Jia, there's a wooden bucket in the backyard. Bring it to the yard and ask Uncle Zhou to boil the water. The rest of you come over. Today, I'll teach you what acupuncture is. As he said that, a box appeared in Guo Pai's hand. After opening it, it was filled with all kinds of silver needles. Old Xiao, it's impossible to remove all the poison in your body in one go. This time, I'll only remove the poison in your heart. In the future, when it's cloudy and rainy, you won't be in so much pain. Guo Pai said with a smile. Xiao Feiyang's face was filled with joy. This Guo Pai was indeed like what his junior brother had said. It was very likely that he was a doctor from a hidden sect. Even in his dreams, he would never have thought that there would actually be someone who could cure him. Little you, if there's anything you need our help with, feel free to ask. The 4 vice presidents of the Chinese Medicine Association stood up and said, 4 seniors, today is the opening of Bugyaku, so I won't trouble you guys. Just help me look around and don't let anyone cause trouble. Guo Pai said with a smile. Old Xiao, please take off your shirt. Xiao Feiyang didn't care how many people there were and what kind of situation he hadn't seen before. This time, it was even simpler. He directly released his aura energy, and the clothes on his upper body were instantly torn to pieces. Old Zhao's methods are good. I didn't expect that you could still maintain the strength of a peak late-stage Xiantian master even after your heart meridians have been corroded by the poison. Guo Pai said with a smile. Next, I will perform the acupuncture. I need Mr. Zhao's 100% cooperation. Otherwise, not to mention detoxifying you, it is very likely that the poison will attack your heart. Mr. Zhao's life will be left in Bugyaku, and I won't be able to open for business in Bugyaku. Little you, don't worry. Feel free to use the needles. I will do my best to cooperate with you, Xiao Feiyang said softly. Guo Pai looked around and saw that no one was talking. Old Master and Old Madame Gwen nodded towards Guo Pai and smiled. Both of their hands quickly inserted 81 needles into Old Master Zhao's body. Before anyone could see what was going on, all of the needles had already been inserted into Xiao Feiyang's body. So that day when Lao Qin was performing the acupuncture, he was still holding back. Chinese medicine is going to prosper. Chinese medicine is going to prosper. Lin Changtian said excitedly. Maybe he was the only one who saw the trick. The 81 needles from Guo Pao sealed all the meridians in Xiao Feiyang's body except for the heart meridian, so the poison in Xiao Feiyang's body could not gather in his heart meridian. Old Xiao, how do you feel? Guo Pai asked with a smile. My meridians have been sealed. I am no longer a Xiantian master. I am just an old man waiting for death, haha. Xiao Feiyang said with a smile. With his meridians sealed, although he couldn't use his inner strength, the poison in his body couldn't move around either. This made him feel very comfortable, at least for the last 30 years. Old Xiao, it will be very painful in a while. If you can't hold on, just tell me and I will knock you out. But if you can hold on, Huaxia will have another master in the enlightened realm. Haha, the choice will be up to you. After Guo Pai finished speaking, a half-meter-long needle appeared in his hand. Under everyone's shocked expression, he slowly inserted the needle into Xiao Feiyang's body from his left arm. Xiao Feiyang's face immediately turned purple. The veins on his body popped out, and the 81 needles in his body began to tremble. You could even hear a faint sound coming from them. Old Xiao, it feels pretty good, right? Is it more powerful than the poison in your body? Guo Pai said with a smile. Everyone looked at the two of them as if they were looking at perverts. Xiao Feiyang didn't faint, but Guo Pai was actually able to laugh. Little you, senior brother's pupils are a little dilated. Is there any problem? Xiao Yuntian asked softly. There's definitely a problem. His pupils are dilated. How can there be no problem? Guo Pai said with a smile, but all of this is old Zhao's own choice. Since he wants to break through to the innate realm, then he has to be prepared to die. Feiyang, nothing can happen to you. If something happens to you, I won't have the face to return to the sect. Xiao Yuntian muttered. Look at what Senior Xiao is saying. I just opened for business today. What can happen? Since you are worried, I will just wake old Xiao up. After saying that, 2 more needles appeared in Guo Pai's hand, and he directly pierced them into Xiao Feiyang's head. Then, Xiao Feiyang suddenly opened his eyes, and the aura qi around his body leaked out. The few people sitting in the front row could clearly feel a wave of pressure. Jia Giyun even almost fell to the ground. I don't want to hurt a large group of people just to save you. Elders, if you can't take it, you can sit back, Guo Pai said with a smile. With a wave of his hand, the pressure that enveloped Jia Giyun just now disappeared. So little Yu is not only good at medical skills, Wu Xiu's realm is also far above us. The martial doctor Wu Shushan shook his head and said, he had trained hard for dozens of years, but he still couldn't compare to this kid. Emperor Jia, is the water outside ready? Guo Pai asked loudly. It's ready. Although Chen Jiadi had only learned from Guo Pai for 2 days, he already knew the power of Chinese medicine. Since Guo Pai asked him to prepare hot water, if the water wasn't ready, it might affect the entire treatment process. Yao Shi, throw all those Chinese medicine doctors into the bucket. Guo Pai said loudly again, go and cut a Tai Sui fungus. I don't believe that this insidious poison would dare to touch the Tai Sui fungus. After saying that, Guo Pai picked up Xiao Feiyang, who was covered in needles, and threw him into the bucket. The moment Xiao Feiyang was thrown in, the bucket that was still smoking suddenly lost all steam. Chen Jiadi, who was standing beside the bucket, couldn't help but shiver. He looked at Xiao Feiyang in the bucket and felt that the old man inside was frozen. Brother bad guy, Tai Sui fungus. You were handed a plate that looked like a piece of meat to Guo Pai. Old Xiao, the last step, whether it's the late stage of Xiantian or the enlightening stage, would depend on you. If you break through, I only need to give you some medicine to deal with the remaining insidious poison in your body. After saying that, Guo Pai threw the Tai Sui fungus into the wood. Then, the wood that had lost all steam started to boil again. It hurts. I can't take it anymore. Xiao Feiyang shouted, Little you, save me, save me. Just before Xiao Feiyang's consciousness disappeared, Guo Pai pierced a silver needle into Xiao Feiyang's body, and Xiao Feiyang fainted. Sigh, it seems that breaking through to Xiantian isn't that easy. Guo Pai shook his head and said. Chapter 141. About 10 minutes later, people in the room couldn't sit still anymore and started to walk to the courtyard. Guo Pai was rubbing his fingernails with the small flying sword with a big smile on his face. He didn't care about the life or death of the person in the wooden barrel at all. Little you, how is my senior brother? Xiao Yuntian couldn't help asking. I don't know. You can ask him when he wakes up later, Guo Pai said with a smile. Don't be idle. Who else needs treatment? Hurry up. Bugyaku is open for business today. The consultation fee is only half. There are only 10 places available. Don't say that Bugyaku won't treat you. The guests looked at each other and didn't say anything. He directly threw the person into the wooden barrel. No one knew whether the person was dead or alive, so who dared to ask him to treat them? Little club leader Gua. I have scapulohumeral periarthritis. I have been receiving physical therapy in the Wu Castle Municipal Hospital, but I don't see any improvement. Can you treat me today? About 3 or 4 minutes later, a middle-aged woman stood up and said, this man was Zhang Desheng, the deputy director of the City Management Bureau of Wu Castle City. He had a good relationship with Wang Shang. Since Wang Yongjin came this time, he decided to risk everything. Second brother, 3,000 renminbi. I'll take the money first and then treat you, Guo Pai said with a smile. Then, the whole room was filled with surprised expressions. Good Bugyaku, your price is not low, Dong Kuan said with his eyes narrowed. It doesn't seem to be high. Today is the opening day. This is a 50% discount. You have 200 renminbi for each physical therapy. A treatment cycle of 10 times will cost you 2,000 renminbi, and it can't be cured completely. I only charge 3,000 renminbi for each cure. It's not high at all, Guo Pai said with a smile. Little club leader Gua, I have had scapulohumeral periarthritis for several years. If you can cure me completely, I'll pay you 30,000 renminbi, not to mention 3,000 renminbi, Zhang Desheng said loudly. Do you need me to take off my shirt? Haha, there's no need. You don't need to take off your clothes for your scapulohumeral periarthritis. I'll give you a massage in a while. I'll let Bisuta give you a hot compress later. As he spoke, Guo Pai placed his hand on Zhang Desheng's shoulder and used a very strange technique to help him massage it a few times. Several people from the Western Medicine Association curled their lips. The 5 old men from the Chinese Medicine Association were completely stunned. Qinkuan Sanshou. Little you, are you using Qinkuan Sanshou? Zhang Tianzheng asked loudly. Mr. Zhang, sit down. What are you so excited about? Whether it's Qinkuan Sanshou or not depends on the effect, Guo Pai said with a smile. After about 5 minutes, Zhang Desheng's expression began to become rich. Dojo Master Guo, it's hot. My shoulder feels very hot, Zhang Desheng whispered. That's right. Bear with it. If you want to fully recover, hold on for a few more minutes, Guo Pai said with a smile. Zhang Desheng nodded his head gently. Su Tu, according to the prescription I told you yesterday, make some medicine and mix it into the plaster. Heat it up and send it over, Guo Pai said with a smile. Su Tu ran into the pharmacy and quickly recalled the prescription Guo Pai told him yesterday. After a while, the herbs were ground into powder and the plaster was quickly made. Pa! Guo Pai put his hand into Zhang Desheng's clothes and applied the plaster. Dojo Master Guo, it's done, Zhang Desheng whispered. There's a horizontal bar over there. Go up and move around. Don't worry about your shoulder. If it still hurts, I'll refund you 10 times the consultation fee, Guo Pai said with a smile. Zhang Desheng shook his arm in disbelief. It really didn't hurt anymore. However, he really didn't believe that he could try it on the horizontal bar because he knew the problem with his arm. Go up boldly. Others are waiting to see Bugyaku make a fool of itself. They'll be disappointed if you don't go. Guo Pai squinted his eyes and said. Some people in the Western Medicine Association knew Zhang Desheng and knew a little about his periarthritis humerus. They were ready to see Zhang Desheng's painful expression. Zhang Desheng gritted his teeth and directly grabbed the horizontal bar. He pulled it hard and sucked it up. It didn't hurt anymore. It really didn't hurt anymore. The periarthritis humerus that had been tormenting him for several years was really cured. Zhang Desheng then did a few pull-ups. It really didn't hurt anymore. He looked at Guo Pai with gratitude. Dojo Master Guo, I'll give you the money later. No more, no less. Bugyaku is open today. I won't give you more than 10,000 yuan. Brother Zhang, it's strange to say that. A doctor has the heart of a parent. The consultation fee has been accepted. Bugyaku won't charge you a penny. When I was massaging you just now, I found that there was something wrong with your knee. Put the plaster on your shoulder for 3 days. Take it off and put it on your knee for 3 days. The disease in your knee can also be cured. Ha! Guo Pai said with a smile. Dojo Master Guo, I've had a migraine for some days. Can you take a look at it for me? An old man came out and said with a smile. Guo Pai didn't say much. He put his finger on the old man's wrist. After more than 10 seconds, Guo Pai nodded gently. Old man, 300 yuan. Go over there and pay the money. Xiaoma, write a prescription for the old man later and prescribe 3 doses of medicine. Old man, let me tell you, this prescription is only suitable for you. Don't give it to others. Otherwise, I won't be responsible if you die. Little you, are you sure you only want 300 yuan? The old man asked with a smile. Although I'm not as rich as old Jia, I can still take out 3 or 5 million yuan. I'll just prescribe some simple Chinese medicine for you. It's not worth much. 3 doses of medicine. If it's not good, you can save the money and smash my reputation. Haha, Guopai said with a smile. The old man smiled and followed Hiemo to get the medicine. Perhaps this kid in front of him can really cure his migraine. 3 people. There are still 7 spots left. Senior Xie of the 7 injuring fists is bringing the old man. Are you not going to watch? AI, it seems like I have to wake old Shui up first. Guopai said with a smile. He reached into the wooden bucket and pulled out Xiao Feiyang. Then, he quickly pulled out the silver needles on Xiao Feiyang's body. After a moment, Xiao Feiyang opened his eyes. Senior brother, you're awake. How do you feel? Xiao Yuntian asked anxiously. Little friend, I can't thank you enough for your kindness. If there's anything you need from me, please don't hesitate to tell me. I'm 84 years old this year, and I don't know how many more years I can live. However, in the remaining days, if little friend needs me, Xiao Feiyang, to help you, I will do my best. Xiao Feiyang said solemnly. No one knew that the insidious poison that had tortured him for 30 years had really disappeared from his heart. Although the insidious poison still existed in his other meridians, he believed that the young man in front of him could help him get rid of it all. Haha, old Xiao must be joking. I've already paid 20 million yuan for the Baji Bang treatment. Guopai will naturally help old Xiao cure him. Let's go in and rest for a while. We'll drink some wine at noon. I think old Xiao hasn't drunk in a while. Guopai said with a smile. Xiao Feiyang nodded fiercely. When he picked up the wine, Xiao Feiyang once again realized that he had been affected by the insidious poison and hadn't drunk for 20 years. Chapter 142. Guopai, little you. This is my junior brother, Xieyuan. Sorry to trouble you, little you. Just as Guopai woke up, the sect leader of the 7 Injers Fist, Xieyu Kuei, had already pulled a person of similar age to himself and walked in front of Guopai. Injuring the enemy by 1,000, but injuring yourself by 800. Senior, you want me to treat your illness? Do you want to continue practicing martial arts in the future? Or do you want to live a peaceful life for a few years? Guopai took Xieyulan's pulse and asked with a smile. Once I enter the Jianghu, it's as deep as the ocean. From then on, there will always be grudges. Little friend, I'm a martial artist. I've helped many people, but I've also offended many more. I know that I don't have much time left. Since I'm in the Jianghu, if little friend can make this old man's martial arts not lose, I'll treat this illness. If he can make me unable to practice martial arts, then I won't bother little friend this time. I have already accepted the money, so I can't not trouble you. 20 years, I will fight for another 20 years for Senior Xiao. 20 years later, Senior Xiao will come to Bugyaku. How about it? Guopai said with a smile. Haha, this old man is 81 years old this year. If I can still struggle for another 20 years, then the rest of my life will be yours. Xieyulan said with a smile. However, he never expected that he would become a guard of Bugyaku for 23 years. The injury on your body is much more serious than Senior Yukuei's. Today, I will first treat you with acupuncture. 7 days later, you will come to me and I will prescribe medicine for you. In about a month, the hidden illness on your body will completely disappear. In the future, whether you practice the 7 Injers Fist or not, it will not harm your foundation. However, 20 years later, you must come to Bugyaku. Otherwise, even if others don't find trouble with you, I will. Guopai narrowed his eyes and said. Xieyulan suddenly felt a chill in his body and gently nodded his head. This time, Guopai was much slower than before. During the process of acupuncture, he would talk to the Bugyaku students for a while. In about an hour, Guopai had inserted 13 needles into Xieyulan's body. Himo, you don't have to look at me like that. I used the ghastly 13 needles. I told you before that the ghastly 13 needles is no secret to me. You should have seen my acupuncture technique clearly. You must remember it clearly. Needles are like this, and so are people. There's a root and a source. I just used the ghastly 13 needles to deal with the injury in Master Xia's body. Guopai said with a smile. Himo nodded gently. Guopai withdrew the needles. Xie Yulin looked at Guopai in surprise, because he could clearly feel the changes in his body. It was really different from before. The pain caused by the seven-inger's fist had mostly disappeared. There is another person in the morning. I don't know who wants to try. Before Guopai finished his words, a middle-aged man led a teenager to his side. Without saying anything, he directly knelt on the ground. Little brother, I beg you, please save my child. The middle-aged man cried. This person came with the people from the Wu Castle Welfare Center. Guopai didn't notice at first, but when his eyes fell on the teenager, a very uncomfortable feeling welled up in his heart. When did this child start to show these symptoms? Where has he been recently? Guopai asked softly. The teenager's eyes were dull and his limbs were weak, but his meridians were normal. Guopai could roughly guess the reason. He returned home 7 days ago. When he woke up the next day, he was already like this. The middle-aged man said softly. His birthday is September 9th? Guopai asked again. Master Gua, you are a miraculous doctor. Xiaojio was born on September 9th at 9:09 p.m. The middle-aged man said with a trace of excitement. These days, he had been to many hospitals. His originally well-off family was almost exhausted by the child's illness. Is there anyone born in September who is born in the year of the dragon? Please come out. I need a male. Guopai said loudly to everyone. Don't worry, I just need 1 or 2 drops of blood to be the guiding drug. As compensation, Bugyaku will give you a newly developed elixir. Grandpa, sure, I am born in the year of the dragon. I don't know if I can do it. A teenager beside, Shi Yamian said softly. Guopai, little you, our little boy in Jinzhong Pharmacy was born in the year of the dragon. Do you think he can do it? Shi Yamian shouted directly. He was very happy. If he could get another elixir and give it to the master, he could retire early. Little Zhao, what are you doing? Go up. No matter what elixir Bugyaku gives you, I will buy it with 1 million yuan. Grandpa, sure, keep your promise. Little Zhao walked to Guopai with joy. Guopai looked at little Zhao and nodded gently. He took out a silver needle, put 2 drops of blood on little Zhao's palm, and held it in a jade bottle. Then he asked you, to give little Zhao a snow muscle elixir. He ignored the excited little Zhao and Shi Yaomian, who was even more excited. No one was interrupted by this episode. They all wanted to see how Guopai was going to treat the teenager in front of them, especially those people from the Chinese Medicine Association. Some of them had seen Xiaojio before. The hospital did not find any complications at all, so they could not treat him. They just prescribed him a lot of sedative drugs, but they did not charge him less. Daju, go behind the rockery and dig out a live centipede. Quickly send it over. When Daju heard Guopai's order, he immediately ran behind the rockery and found a live centipede. According to Guopai's order, he put it in the jade bottle. Daju come, I also need to give you a few drops of blood, Guopai said with a smile. Bad master, Daju doesn't want anything. Can you give me a youth-retaining pill? My sisters-in-law have all taken it, but my Bai Ro didn't. I will ask for one for her. Daju said with a silly smile. He lowered his voice, but Shun Bai Ro could still hear it clearly. Her small face blushed. Xiaoro, your family's Daju is good to you. Why are you shy? Sister will give you a checkup tonight to see if you're still a girl. Sun Ling Ling, who was beside Shun Bai Ro, said jokingly. Shun Bai Ro's small face became even redder. Daju, not bad. You learn how to bargain for me. I don't have any youth-retaining pill, but I do have some snow muscle pills. I will give you one when the time comes. Guopai said. The silver needle pierced through Daju's finger and dripped a drop of blood into the jade bottle. The centipede in the bottle acted as if it was facing a great enemy and pretended to be dead. Old Lin, can you tell what illness that child has? Guopai, how is little you going to treat it? Zhang Tianzheng asked softly. I have seen little Jiu before. That old man from the Chinese Medicine Association called me. All the tests were normal. Western medicine can't explain it. When I checked little Gio's pulse, if I didn't guess wrongly, it should be the day spirit that was recorded in our Chinese Medicine Association. However, we haven't seen it before, so we can't say for sure. Lin Chantian said softly. Guopai seemed to have heard Lin Chantian's words. He looked at Lin Chantian and nodded. Although he didn't compete with Lin Chantian, this old man gave Guopai a good impression. Chapter 143. 10 minutes later, Guopai inserted 9 silver needles into Xiao Jio's body and said softly, "Xiao Jio needs to stay in Bugyaku for treatment." Okay. Master Gua will do as you say. Xiao Jio's father hurriedly nodded and said, "I don't know how much treatment fee is needed. I'll go back and sell everything I have to get it for you." Haha, Bugyaku doesn't want to treat people, but if you want to treat people, you must treat them. Since you trust Bugyaku, I'll treat Xiao Jio for free. However, after Xiao Jio recovers, he needs to help in my clinic for 10 years. I don't know if you agree or not. Guopai asked with a smile. Only Xiao Jio is fine, not to mention 10 years. He can even stay in Bugyaku forever. Master Gua, if you can't treat this youth, just say it directly. There's no need to use stalling tactics. Someone from the Western Medicine Association said. I've already cured Mr. Xiao. According to what your vice president said just now, in the future, when Western doctors meet my clinic, they should take the initiative to give way and salute me as their teacher. I won't let you salute me, so don't push your luck. The diseases that you Western doctors can't cure, we can cure them all. If you want to stay in my clinic, then shut up. Otherwise, get out of here. I'll visit your Western Medicine Association in a few days, Scoundrel was said with a gloomy face. If you don't want it, then I'll slap you in the face. You. The person from the Chinese Medicine Association wanted to say something, but was stopped by Dong Kuan. Guopai had already controlled Xiao Feiyang's poison. This was a fact. Although Dong Kuan was stubborn, he couldn't say anything. I've already treated 5 people this morning. There will be 5 more in the afternoon. In the future, Bugyaku will only treat 10 people every day. However, if you need medicine for some minor illnesses, you can come directly to Bugyaku. The 18 doctors in Bugyaku will serve you wholeheartedly. Guopai said loudly. The 18 students nodded excitedly. Living in Bugyaku was much more comfortable than living in some hospitals. Xiao Gua. Chu Hong, the woman who often went to play mahjong with you, shouted to Guopai. Xiao Gua, we've called our good sisters over. Do you still have a medicine you gave us? Can you sell some to us today? Guopao smiled. He had almost forgotten about this matter. There were more than 100 snow mussel pills, and there were more than 300 detoxifying pills made from the dregs of the snow mussel pills. If he wanted to sell them, then so be it. Today was the day of his grand opening. Thank you, Sister Hong. If you didn't mention it, I would have forgotten about this matter. However, the pills I gave you are gone. Now, there are some other pills. I'll ask everyone here. If possible, we'll auction 10 pills this morning. It's almost time for lunch. We can't delay everyone's meal. Guopai said with a smile. Some people in Bugyaku understood something. Master Gua, if you have any good things, please take them out. It's okay to have lunch later. You can even have dinner together. This way, you can save a meal. Ha! A middle-aged man who accompanied his wife said with a smile. Brat, if you have any good things, take them out. Today's the opening ceremony. Eat later. We old guys can handle it. Don't worry about us. Liao's grandfather, Li Douqian, said loudly. Since everyone agrees, then Bugyaku will auction 10 pills. In order to prove the effect of these pills, I'm looking for a friend to test it. I don't know who would like to try it. Guopai said with a smile. My wife. Let my wife try it. The man said loudly. At first glance, his wife's face was not bad. However, at a closer look, the freckles on her face were faintly discernible under the foundation. Old Pang, you're giving away your wife. Not bad. The people around the middle-aged man joked. However, what happened later made them realize that the foolish old Pang had made a wise decision this time. Guopai looked at the old Pang couple and nodded gently. Old Pang's wife walked in front of Guopai. Sister, let's unload first. You don't have to wear such heavy makeup in the future, Guopai said with a smile. Old Pang's wife was straightforward. She directly ran outside. With the help of Lu Yaoshe and Lung Shuang, it took her less than 3 minutes to remove the thick layer of foundation on her face. Her freckles appeared in front of everyone. Old Pang, why are you blushing? Don't tell me you think I'm ugly now. Old Pang's wife looked at her husband and said loudly, Wife, what are you talking about? How could that be? Since Master Gua is able to cure all those difficult and complicated diseases, the freckles on your face should be a piece of cake, Old Pang said with a smile. The woman nodded gently and looked at Guopai with a trace of expectation. Sister, don't worry. I'll get rid of the unwanted freckles on your face in one go. You made a profit this time. Bugyaku's pill testing is free, haha. Guopai's words made the people below laugh again. Jia Xiaoxiao followed Guopai's instructions and brought out a white jade box with good workmanship. Guopai had asked the craftsman to make it overnight. He didn't expect it to come in handy today. Opening the jade box, a tricolored pill made everyone in Bugyaku stand up. Heavens, this is a tricolored pill. A woman is actually using it to treat freckles. Bugyaku is really generous. Others couldn't see anything, but Xiao Feiyang saw it with a glance and said in surprise, Gua Shuai didn't care about the tricolored elixir. It was nothing more than something refined from dregs. He crushed it with his hands and dissolved the dregs with water. He then divided the dregs into two. He then took a small piece of clean cotton cloth and dabbed it on Old Pang's wife's face. Everyone was even more shocked. The freckles on Old Pang's face darkened at a speed visible to the naked eye. Some of them even disappeared. Sister, drink this. I'll give you a list later. Drink some Chinese medicine. I guarantee that you won't have any freckles on your face until you're 70 years old. Guopai said with a smile. Old Pang, right? I'll return your wife to you. Take a look for yourself, haha. Silly woman. Hurry up and thank Master Gua. After saying that, Old Pang pressed his wife's head and bowed deeply to Guopai. The others were still in shock when they saw the freckles on Old Pang's wife's face disappear. It really disappeared. This was simply too inconceivable. Old Pang, did the freckles on my face really disappear? Old Pang's wife whispered as she touched her face. It seemed to be smoother than before. Disappeared? It really disappeared. Wife, if you were like this in the past, we wouldn't have dated at night. At that time, Old Pang would have married you. Old Pang said with a laugh. Back then, he was cheated by his wife's family. A promising young man married a freckled wife. For a long time, Old Pang felt that he had been cheated. Every time they dated, it was under the dim street lights. Now, his wife had really become beautiful. She was so beautiful that he couldn't accept it. Master Gua, do you still want to test the medicine? I'll pay for it. Please, Master Gua. At this time, a woman in her early 30s loudly said. Chapter 144. Sister Nyo, what do you think? We didn't lie to you, right? My brother Gua is amazing, right? The medicine he gave us was better than this, but this time it's not bad either. Whether you can buy it or not is up to you. Chu Hong said with a proud smile. The few women around her who were around the same age as her nodded their heads fiercely, looking determined to win. I don't know if any of the guests have ever held an auction before. If you have, please step forward and help. Bugyaku will take a pill as the reward. Guopai said with a smile. Fourth brother, leave this matter to second brother. I'll help you. Jia Yuan volunteered. Guopai looked at Jia Yuan and shook his head. If you were still as fat as you were in the past, it would be right to leave this matter to you. But now, you're a Xiantian master. No matter how you look at it, you're not cut out for this. Hall Master Gua, why don't you let me give it a try? A 24-year-old woman said with a smile. My name is Lu Yan. I'm the auctioneer of the Wu Castle branch of Huaxia Auction House. Can I? Then I'll have to trouble Sister Lu. Guopai said with a smile. This pill is called Snow Muscle Pill. The starting price is 100,000. I'll leave the rest to Sister. Pervert, big pervert. You'll compromise when you see a beautiful woman. You were said with a smile. The other girls nodded. Guopai and a few other students moved a yellow rosewood table to the middle of Bugyaku's reception room. He also prepared a small wooden hammer for Luyan. Luyan didn't know whether to laugh or cry. However, the 300 women in the reception room were all like wolves and tigers. Today, I'm very happy to be the auctioneer in Bugyaku. I hope that everyone can raise the price as high as possible. First, it's to liven up the atmosphere of Bugyaku's grand opening. Second, it's to give face to this little girl. Thank you in advance, Lu Yin said with a smile. Today's auction item has been seen by everyone. I have to say that Hall Master Gua's starting price of 100,000 is too low. If such an item is placed in any auction, the starting price will not be lower than 1 million. Anyway, since Bugyaku has set the price, then let's start. 1 snow muscle pill. The starting price is 100,000, and each increment must not be lower than 5,000. It had to say that Lu Yin was very good at auctions. Just a few simple words. 1 million. Just like what little sister Lu Yin said, I also agree. I'll pay 1 million for this snow muscle pill. The woman who Chu Hong called Sister Nyo just now said loudly. 1 million was nothing to the Nyo family. A few days ago, she saw Chu Hong and her husband being lovey-dovey. Then she thought of her own man, who was out drinking all day because she was not as good as she used to be. Humph, she must get this item. It had to be said that Sister Nyo's 1 million shocked some people. Although the effect of Old Pang's wife's pill was very good, 1 million made some people back off. This elder sister has bid 1 million. Is there anyone else who wants it? 1 million in exchange for decades of beauty. It's really suitable. If I wasn't in an auction, I would also want to bid for it. Women don't spend the money they earn. Don't tell me they use it to find their man's mistress. Lu Yin said with a smile. I'm just kidding. 1 million going once. Old Sister Nyo, I'm sorry. I also want to try this item. 1,050,000. A beautiful woman in her 40s said with a smile. According to her age and appearance, there was really no need for her to bid for this item. However, everyone loved beauty. Which woman would not want to be more beautiful? Elder Sister Sue, just let your younger sister have it this time. You look like you just turned 31. There's no need to compete with your younger sister. 1,100,000. Sister Nyo said with a smile. She knew Su Yan. This woman was not simple. She had her own company and was very good at doing business. 1,500,000. I'm sorry. Elder sisters, your younger sister hasn't been feeling well recently. I want to use this pill to recuperate. Just as the two were talking, a woman who was not even 30 years old said with a smile. She was the daughter of the secretary of Wu Castle's municipal committee, Chen Miao. 1,500,000. Is there anyone who wants to bid higher? Lu Yin asked with a smile. 1,600,000. Elder Sister Miao, you don't need this item. Let your younger brother have it. Xiao Hua didn't come today. I have to buy something for her. Wang Sheng said with a smile. Chen Miao frowned and stopped bidding. There's something wrong with third brother's behavior. Could it be that third brother is not on good terms with the Chen family? Guo Pai was stunned in thought. Then he saw the old man Wang Yongjin nod his head. It seemed that his guess was right. 1,500,000 going once. 1,500,000 going twice. 1,500,000 going thrice. Sold. Congratulations to our director, Wang Sheng. Later, please swipe your card at the back. However, I hope Director Wang's money is clean. Lu Yin said jokingly. She naturally knew the relationship between Wang Sheng and Guo Pai. In an instant, she also understood some of the grievances between the Wang family and the Chun family. Second brother, swipe my card. You know the money in this card the best. It was earned from a 100,000 investment I gave you last year. It's clean, Wang Sheng said with a smile. Lu Yin had already started bidding for the second pill. 1,500,000. I'll take this pill. Chen Miao directly bid. This time, no one bid because they had to give some face to her father. The third pill was bought by elder sister Nyo for 1,700,000. At first, some people thought that elder sister Nyo's price was too high. Then, the fourth pill was sold for 1,900,000. The fifth pill broke through 2 million and was sold for 2,1300,000. Elder sister Nyo, quickly look in the mirror. The freckles on your face are all gone. Also, the wrinkles on your face are gone. Elder Sister Neo was an impatient person. Seeing that the auction was still going on, she directly asked Guopai for the pill she bought. She took the pill according to the method taught by Guopai. Unexpectedly, the pill took effect immediately. Elder Sister Neo and the few women around her were completely stunned. 3 million. Is there anyone who wants to bid higher than 3 million? The seventh snow muscle pill had already been sold for 3 million. Now, the atmosphere in the clinic's reception room was even more lively than before. 3 million was still not the end. 3,300,000. The Western Medicine Association will pay 3,300,000. After communicating with several members of the Western Medicine Association, Dong Kuan offered a high price of 3,300,000. They wanted to buy one pill to do research. As long as they could make money, Guopai naturally wouldn't stop them. Go and do research. Even if he told them the ingredients, they wouldn't be able to do it. Fire, true samadhi fire, do you have any? 3,700,000, going 3. The seventh snow muscle pill belongs to the Western Medicine Association, Lu Yin said with a smile. The eighth and ninth pills were directly bought by an unknown female entrepreneur in Wu Castle City for 4 million, and the 10th pill was sold for 4,500,000. Elder Sister Neo, who had bought the third pill for 1,700,000, felt that it was really worth it. Thank you for your support. This auction is over. According to Master Gua, everyone can go to Tianyang International for dinner. We have already booked seats for everyone. At 2:30 p.m., 5 people will be treated in Bugyaku. If you want to come, you can come. If you don't want to come, we won't force you. Lu Yin said with a smile. Guopai nodded slightly and walked to Lu Yin. He handed a wooden box to Lu Yin. Thank you, elder sister. The snow muscle pill is useless for you. This is a youth-retaining pill. Take it as the reward for your help this time, Guopai said with a smile. Chapter 145. Youth-retaining pill? Bad brother, you said that it's a youth-retaining pill. Does it have the same effect as the youth-retaining pill in the novel? Lu Yin asked softly in disbelief. She had also changed the way she addressed him. She no longer called him Club Master Gua, but bad little brother. Haha, sister, you'll know once you try it. I'm not going to talk to you anymore. If I continue chatting with beauties, my wife will get jealous. Guopai said with a smile when he saw Yua walking towards him. Big baddie, don't just chat with beauties. Let's go. A few old men are refusing to leave. They said that they want to eat and drink in Bugyaku. Yua said with a smile. Guanoten and his wife had not left. Liao, Jia Yuan, and Wang Sheng's 3 top-notch brothers had not left. The 3 elders of the 3 families had not left either. The few Xiantian experts from the 3 major sects had not left either. Old Zhou could not hold on any longer. Seniors, uncles, I was just joking. I really don't have any more ingredients. We finished all of them the other day. The wine is with Little Gua. I don't have any. Why don't we go to Tianyang together? The food there's pretty good. Zhou Tianyang said with a smile. Tianyang International had nothing to do with him. Just now, he said that the food in Tianyang International was better than the food in the medical hall. It happened that Jia Guyan heard it. Now, the old men didn't want to leave. Brat, we are here to support you today. We have to eat here. You can't just ignore the food, right? Jia Guyan said with a smile when he saw Guopai walking over. Second brother, all the guests who eat in the clinic will be charged 1 million each. If it's 1 cent less, you have to pay me 10 times the amount. Guopai said loudly to Jia Yuan, who was trying to escape. Bugyaku provides food, but if you want to eat in Bugyaku, it's not that good. 1 million it is. I want to see if the delicacy that Zhou Tianyang mentioned is worth 1 million. If it isn't, how are you going to take this 1 million? How are you going to spit it out for me? Jia Guyan's stubborn temper flared up as he said with a smile. Liu, shout Imo, help out in the kitchen. The rest of you, clean up the table. Guopai said with a smile, then dialed Lin Chongtian's number. Elder Lin, there's something I need to trouble you with. As you can see today, my Bugyaku is a little crowded. Can you let me use the Booby Medical Center next door for 180 years? Guopai said with a smile. 180 years? You really dare to say that? Wait a moment. I'll get someone to deliver the key to you. Lin Changtian said with a smile. He was very efficient. In less than 5 minutes, the driver came back with the key. Guopai directly asked a few students to tidy up the booby medical center. They temporarily borrowed a few tables from the neighboring medical center. Otherwise, there wouldn't be enough space for so many people to eat. Master, why don't we go to Tianyang for a meal? There are so many people today, our medical center can't accommodate all of them. Chun Jiadi said to Guopai after discussing with a few students. Emperor Jia, you said that it's our medical center, but it seems like you don't really think of yourself as a person from Bugyaku. You're Bugyaku's employees, so you're one of us. You're the owner of Bugyaku. Have you ever seen a guest asking the owner to go out for a meal? Guopai said with a smile. Let them eat at Booby Medical Center later. We're still eating in Bugyaku. Just a few simple words made Chun Jiadi and the rest feel hot in their hearts. Guopai's medical skills convinced them wholeheartedly. Guopai's character convinced them wholeheartedly. Little bad, what kind of meat is this? I secretly tasted a little just now. It's really delicious. It's better than any meat I've eaten before. Zhou Tianyang said softly. Uncle Zhou, if I say it's dragon meat, would you believe me? Guopai said with a wink. Of course, why wouldn't I believe you? Only dragon meat can be this delicious. Zhou Tianyang said. But little bad, you put a lot of Chinese medicine that is harmful to vitality in the pot. Other people's medicinal cuisine is mainly for nourishment. You're doing it against the norm. Guopai didn't explain further. The corner of his mouth curled up slightly. How should he explain it to Zhou Tianyang? If he didn't use some medicine that was harmful to vitality to remove the energy in the dragon meat, these old fellows would explode with energy after eating it. Even the gods wouldn't be able to save them. After about an hour, Guopai saw that the food in the 3 big pots was basically ready. He shouted loudly and prepared to serve the dishes. The old fellows were already a little tired. When they heard that it was time to eat, they all perked up. Fourth brother, I've collected the money. Only your grandfather and grandmother haven't paid. The rest have been settled, Jia Yuan said with a smile. Brat, Grandma is having a meal at your place. This brat told me to pay 1,000,000 yuan. Did you say so? He even pretended to be little Yuan. The old madam scolded with a smile. Grandma, I'm really Jia Yuan. I'm the real deal. Why don't you believe me? Jia Yuan said with a drooping face. He had already told the old madam many times. The old madam only said one sentence. I've known little Yuan since he was a child. He was chubby, unlike you, who is as thin as a bamboo pole. If you were Jia Yuan, would you dare to pay for Jia Guyun's medicine? Ha, Grandma, you don't have to pay. Let my grandpa pay 1,000,000 yuan. Anyway, he's rich, Guopai said with a smile. Guo Yuan's eyes widened, but he really paid 1,000,000 yuan. Then a group of old fellows were invited to the Booby Medical Hall next to Bugyaku and sat down. They couldn't help but start nagging again. However, when the first dish was served, the aroma made everyone speechless. Old Guo, good, very good. You've been eating delicacies every day, but you've never thought of asking us to eat together. When you were exiled to Wu Castle, we didn't treat you like this, Li Doqian said loudly. Guo Yuan didn't say anything at all. He had already eaten 2 big pieces of meat. It's also the first time I've eaten something like this. This brat even paid me 1,000,000 yuan. But it's really worth it. This dish is worth it. Guo Yuan picked up another piece of meat and stuffed it into his mouth. Old Guo, you've already eaten 3 pieces. You can't eat anymore. There's only 1 plate. You can't eat anymore. Old Wang, you've also eaten 3 pieces. You 2 have to eat later. Li Doqian said. His chopsticks didn't stay idle. He took a bite himself. Fortunately, there was no one else here. If this spread out, these famous people would be laughed at. Grandpas, seniors, eat slowly. I'll let you eat until you're full today. While speaking, Guopai put 8 bottles on the ground. 16 people, 8 bottles of wine. That's all. Your 1,000,000 yuan isn't even enough to pay for my wine. Don't ask this brat for more. Then, Guopai turned and ran away. Then the old fellows started to quarrel with each other again. In the end, Guo Yuan drank a small cup because of his surname. But thinking of his grandson's great change, Guiyuan smiled with his eyes narrowed. After the 3 dishes were served, the old fellows enjoyed themselves. The people in Bugyaku were also eating happily. The old lady sat beside Guopai. She knew all the girls. Looking at the girls among the students, she thought, my grandson really has good taste. He made these girls shy. Chapter 146. The 2 tables of people ate until 3 p.m. There were still some leftovers from the 3 dishes on Guo Pao's table, but the few large plates on the old men's table were all cleaned up. The last dish, shark fin soup, was licked by old Master Wang on the principle of not wasting anything. None of the old men laughed at him, because the last dish was won by old Master Wang through a finger-guessing game. It smells so good. What do you think Bugyaku ate today? Why does it feel so much better than what we ate at Tianyang International? Qin Long whispered. Let's ask the old men who didn't leave later, Lin Changtian whispered. They said it would start at 2:30 in the afternoon. It's almost 3, and they just finished eating. They'll probably clean up after 3. Old Wang, over here, Lin Changtian called out to Wang Yongjin when he saw the old men coming out of the clinic. Old Lin, what's the matter? Hurry up and go to Bugyaku. We still have to treat 5 people this afternoon. I'm going to ask my sister-in-law to come over. Her legs aren't very good recently. Let Guopai take a look at her, Wang Yongjin said with a smile, squinting his eyes as if he was still thinking about the lunch. I was going to find a few brothers for a few drinks this afternoon, but you guys didn't come. How was the meal in Bugyaku? How was it? The food at Tianyang International was pretty good, Lin Changtian said with a smile. The food at Tianyang International was pretty good? I've eaten there before. Compared to today's meal, that bastard Zhou Tianyang was right. That's where beggars eat. Wang Yongjin said in a low voice. He couldn't help but lick his lips again. Where the beggars eat. Tianyang International is the best place to eat in this area recently. Old Wang, you drank too much, Lin Changtian said with a stare. I want to drink a lot, but Guopai is so stingy that he didn't give me enough alcohol. 1 million yuan is enough for me to eat until I'm half full. But I'm satisfied. Anyway, let's go in. Xiaosheng should have brought my wife here. Wang Yongjin ignored Lin Changtian's surprised expression and walked in. Mother Kerr, we thought we were eating well. Turns out we missed a big meal. No matter what, we have to eat at Bugyaku tonight. Lin Changtian whispered and walked in. In Bugyaku in the afternoon, the courtyard was also full of people. About 400 people came in the morning, and nearly 1,000 people came in the afternoon. Those who did not give red envelopes in the morning all gave red envelopes to Jia Yuan, which made Jia Yuan, the richest man in Wu Castle, a little jealous. Laosi made money so fast. Not counting the things he sold, he had received almost 200 million yuan in red envelopes today. Little bad. I don't care how many people you treat in the afternoon. Just now I was outside waiting in line. Let me take a look at my wife's leg first. Wang Yongjin said, half drunk and half awake. The old lady of the Wang family pinched the soft flesh on Wang Yongjin's waist and twisted it. Wang Yongjin suddenly became fully awake, which made all the people in the conference hall laugh. Guopao sighed in his heart. It turns out that all women know how to pinch the waist. Guopao helped old Madame Wang to move to the middle. Wang Sheng hurriedly brought a stool over. Sometimes in the Wang family, they could ignore old Master Wang, but when it came to old Madame Wang, they had to take care of her 200%. Third brother, why are you standing here? Go down, you're blocking the light. Guopai smiled and pushed Wang Sheng away. Lao Si, be careful. My grandma's leg hurts. You have to treat her slowly. Wang Sheng said nervously. No matter how excellent Guopai's performance was today, or in other words, recently, Wang Sheng couldn't help but want his grandma to leave Bugyaku when he thought of Wang Sheng's past misdeeds. Third brother, what do you mean? Are you going to treat grandma's leg or not? Are you afraid that if I treat grandma's leg, it won't be so convenient for you to escape in the future? So you're hinting me not to use all my strength to treat her? Guopai said with a smile. Lao Si, what are you talking about? Use all your strength to treat grandma's leg. You must cure grandma's leg. After saying that, Wang Sheng saw his father staring at him. So he sat on the stool obediently and didn't say anything. Grandma, are you going to take part in this year's Wu Castle Marathon? Guopai said with a smile. Wu Castle TV station had been broadcasting Wu Castle Marathon recently. It would start in 3 days. The atmosphere of Wu Castle City was unprecedentedly high. Little brat, Xiao Sheng said, you've changed a lot, but I don't think you've changed at all. How dare you make fun of me? Huh? Mrs. Wang said with a smile. Today my old man called me and said he saw the miracle-working doctor. I was wondering who it was. It turns out that they were talking about you. If I had known it was you, I wouldn't have come. Ahem, Grandma. You can't take part in this year's Wu Castle Marathon, but you can definitely take part in the next one. At that time, I'll ask my grandma to take part as well. Let's see who can win a championship of the elderly group. Ha! While they were talking, Mrs. Wang's leg had been pierced with 36 silver needles, but she didn't feel it at all. Since you mentioned your grandmother, I do have something to ask you. Sister Gua's complexion is not bad recently. The last time I saw her, she seemed to be 10 years younger. She said you gave her some medicine. Do you have any more? Give me some too, old Madame Wang said with a smile. Grandma, you go back and take a seat first. I'll talk to you later. There are 4 more people. After you finish treating the 4 patients, you can come to my house with my grandma tonight. At that time, I'll make you look like my grandma, a few years younger. Guopai had a good impression of Mrs. Wang, because in the memory of the previous Guopai, Mrs. Wang had helped him a lot. Since it was a good karma, it should be reaped. The old man also lied to me. He even said that he was going to treat my leg. Let's not talk about this anymore. I'm going to have a chat with Sister Gua. As she spoke, Old Lady Wang stood up and walked towards Old Lady Gua. My leg doesn't hurt anymore. Old Madame Wang took 2 steps before she realized that her legs were no longer in pain. She looked at Guopao in disbelief and said, Grandma, find a place to sit down first. Xiaoma, help me take out the needles in 10 minutes. Then, according to the prescription of the 7-yang paste, make a plaster and apply it. Grandma's legs will be fine in about 7 days. Guopai said with a smile. There are 4 more. Brother Gua scoundrel, I have something I need your help with. A familiar voice sounded in Guopao's ears. This person looked very familiar. Guopao searched through his memories and found this person's information. It was Han Yishui, the brat that he had often met in Martial City's heavens. He was the second in command of Martial City's heavens. Looking at the girl beside him, her breath was weak. Guopai's mind-reading technique fell on Han Yishui and narrowed his eyes. Brother Long is trying to kill me. I really don't know what he's thinking. He sent a dying drug addict here for treatment. They're opening today. He's trying to kill me. Han Yishui thought to himself. Chapter 147. Brother Yishui, thank you for coming today. I think you should be having a good time recently. I don't know why you are here, Guopai said with narrowed eyes. My cousin is not in good health recently. I heard that you opened a clinic. Today, I took advantage of the opening of your clinic and asked my cousin to come and have a look. With that, Han Yishui pulled up the girl from her seat, a girl with dyed red hair. Sister Hong, don't be tired of brother-in-law. Let brother-in-law come over. Guopai said to Chu Hong. He knew that Chu Hong's brother-in-law was the deputy director of the Public Security Bureau of Wu Castle City, responsible for the security work of Xinglin Street. Chu Hong's husband, Xiao Daji, heard Guopai calling him and quickly walked over from his seat. Not to mention that Guopai gave his wife the medicine for free. Guopai's relationship with the Wang and Li families of Wu Castle. He had to listen to the young master in front of him. Brother-in-law, look at this girl. I think you should know what's going on with her better than me, Guopai said with a smile. I'm Xiao Daji. I'm now in Bugyaku, 388 Xinglin Street. Yes, come here immediately. Call the colleagues of the detoxification department to come together. Immediately. Xiao Daji saw what was going on with this girl at a glance. If she had injected drugs for a long time, she would not be like this. This is the girl's cousin. You can take him with you later, Guopai said with a smile. But since this girl can enter my Bugyaku, I think I can't ignore her illness in Bugyaku. Guopai's mind-reading ability fell on the girl. Only then did he find that this girl was also a pitiful person. Since she came to Bugyaku, he would save her if he could. Brother, there's no need to get into trouble because of this. She's been taking drugs for a long time. Ordinary drugs can't control her at all. I think it's better to wait a while. I'll bring her directly to the station, Xiao Daji said in a low voice. A doctor has the heart of a parent. Since this girl is not a member of the 6 no doctors of Bugyaku, I have the obligation to help her since she came to Bugyaku. Brother-in-law, you go back first. It will take some time for your people to come here. During this time, let me cure her and bring her to the bureau. You can ask her anything you want. Guopai said with a smile. When the girl heard their conversation, she slowly opened her eyes and looked at the young man in front of her. She felt a sense of déjà vu, but she was more concerned about what Guopai had said. If he could really stop her from being poisoned, the girl would really agree to anything Guopai said. I know you can hear me, and I can tell you responsibly that you don't have much time left. Guopai whispered in the girl's ear, but I can't let you die in Bugyaku, because you shouldn't die like this. As he said that, Guopai took out a medicinal pill from his body. The few late-stage Xiantian Wuxiu in the front row stood up in unison. A 9-colored medicinal pill. It was actually the legendary 9-colored medicinal pill. Where did this Guopai come from? How could he have such a thing? That's right. Even with Guopai's current level, it was impossible for him to refine a 9-colored medicinal pill. On Earth, no one could refine such a heaven-defying medicinal pill, but Guopai had such a medicinal pill because he had a gourd, the old lord's gourd. Guopai didn't care about the expressions of the others at all. He gently stuffed the medicinal pill into the girl's mouth. A moment later, the girl's face began to turn red, and her body, which was about to lose its vitality, began to be filled with energy. The girl carefully sized up the man who had saved her, and the gratitude from the bottom of her heart made her kneel down and kowtow 3 times to Guopai. A strange sense of gratitude surged into Guopai's body. It turned out that a person could bring him so much merit. This is impossible. Brother Long said that she would die in Bugyaku. How is this possible? Han Ishui was the most shocked because he knew the girl's situation. We brought her here. Black Dragon gave her a shot. Thinking of that shot, Han Ishui's scalp went numb. At first, he was even worried that the girl wouldn't be able to hold on until she walked into Bugyaku. He didn't expect that the girl would stand in front of him now and look at him with a gaze that made his heart turn cold. Brother, I have to take this girl with me, Xiao Daji whispered in Guopai's ear. I'm just a doctor in Bugyaku. You don't have to tell me about this, but I believe that this girl is innocent. I hope that the police in Wu Castle can find out the truth this time. Don't let a bad person go, and don't wrongly accuse a good person, Guopai said softly. Xiao, I want you to make the whole thing public. Let the citizens of Wu Castle supervise it. If there is any resistance, come to me directly. We must get to the bottom of this matter. Wang Yongjin, who had been silent all this time, said loudly, If necessary, go to General Li Tiando if you need help. I want to work with the army this time to completely eradicate the cancer in Wu Castle. Hearing Wang Yongjin's words, Li Tiando nodded slightly. Thunderous applause sounded in the room. Han Ishui squatted on the ground. He knew that he was finished, Black Dragon was finished, and Wu Castle was finished. After such a small episode, Guopai helped the doctor in Xinglin Street solve his crooked mouth, which had troubled him for many years. The doctor shed tears of gratitude. Guopai just smiled because he felt that the aura of the people from the Xiaohou family who had been monitoring him recently was getting clearer and clearer. He knew that trouble was coming soon. Dingwa, you should know me. Hu Bubi directly appeared in front of the crowd after Guopai solved the problem of the doctor in Xinglin Street. Hu Bubi, Guopai said with a smile, I know what you want to do, but I advise you to leave. You're in the 6 no's list. I won't cure you. You're afraid that you can't cure me, right? Hu Bubi was stunned at first, and then said with a sneer, Provocation doesn't work on me, Guopai said with a smile. At this time, Hu Bubi realized that he had been preparing carefully for the past few days. Hu Bubi touched the poison and antidote in his pocket and walked out of Bugyaku with a red face. Doctor, I came in because I saw a lot of people. I'm a street sweeper in Xinglin Street. My back has been hurting badly recently. I wonder if you can help me. An old man dressed like a sanitation worker asked softly. Obviously, he was shocked by such a big scene. Guopao looked at the old man and nodded gently. He stretched out his hand and touched the old man's back. The old man's back pain was not a big problem. It was just a lingering illness from when he was young. Guopao casually wrote a prescription and told Liu to only charge 1 yuan for the old man's medicine. Then, he looked at the door. The people of the Xiahou family should be here. If they don't come now, the opening of my medical center will be over. Chapter 148. Is Bugyaku's hall lord around? Can I trouble you to come out? My brother is dying. Just as old Jia walked out of Bugyaku, 2 men and a woman walked in with a middle-aged man. They were none other than the 4 Khanate experts sent by the Xiahou family. Guopai looked at the quartet and smiled. What should be here is finally here. Today, I will finish you all. My Bugyaku can be considered open for business. Daju, let them in, Guopai said with a smile. The quartet walked into the clinic's main hall. Little bad, these people are wuxiao. Be careful, Xiao Yuntian whispered. At the instant the quartet appeared, the elders in the room sensed a familiar aura. Khanate wuxiao. He had reached the Khanate realm at such a young age. He was likely a talent nurtured by some family clan. When we were outside, we heard that the medical hall's master's medical skills were extremely high. I don't know if my big brother has been poisoned or if he has suffered internal injuries. I beg you, please take a look at my big brother. Xiahou Wu pointed at Xiahou Shanha and said. Guopai smiled without a word. He extended his finger and placed it on Xiahou River's wrist. His mind-reading technique landed on Xiahou River's body. Darn brat, no matter who is in Bugyaku today, since you dare harm my nephew, you have to die. No matter what strength you have, I want to see how you can survive after being poisoned by my cloud garment exotic with poison. Xiahou River's thoughts appeared in Guopai's mind. Without any evidence, you want to kill me. If I don't know mind reading, I wouldn't even know how I died today. The cloud garment exotic wood poison was concocted by the Tang sect's genius, Li Yunshang, during the early Tang dynasty. I never expected it to be passed down to this day. I'm really sorry, but I have a good relationship with the Tang sect's second sect master, Li Gui. This poison is useless against me. Guopai thought to himself as he placed his finger on Xiahou River's wrist for about a minute. A colorless and odorless substance was then inhaled by Guopai from Xiahou River's body. Wasn't it the cloud exotic wood poison? The moment Guopai inhaled the cloud exotic wood poison, he used his inner strength to seal the poison in one of his meridians. With his current strength, he couldn't be careless with this poison. Even though he wouldn't die, it would take some effort to force the poison out. Yours truly didn't have that much time to waste on this. Dojo Masterwa, how is my big brother? If you can't do anything about it, we'll take him somewhere else, Xiahou Cheng said in a low voice. This was what they had discussed beforehand. They would leave immediately after the poisoning was successful. If Bugyaku can't cure him, it's useless no matter where you bring him, Guopai said with a smile. I could treat your big brother's illness, but I'm afraid the inner strength your big brother has cultivated over the years can't be preserved. No, if he can't preserve his inner strength, my big brother will definitely not agree. There's no need to trouble Dojo Masterwa. We're leaving, Xiahou Wu said loudly as he lifted Xiahou River to leave. Cloud exotic wood poison. I don't know any of you, so why are you poisoning me? Guopai said softly. Xiao Yuntian jumped up and landed in front of the 4, blocking their path. Wang Tianluo and Senior Xiaoyukuan also stood up and surrounded the 4. We don't know what you're talking about. We don't want to be treated. Let us go, Xiahou Wu said loudly. Guopai took a step forward and placed his finger on Xiahou River's shoulder. Then, Xiahou River felt his shoulder suddenly heat up, and a heart-wrenching pain made him unable to help but cry out. Xiahou River's originally weak aura suddenly erupted with a powerful aura. Late-stage Xiantian. Not even 40 years old. Late-stage Xiantian. This caused Xiao Yuntian and the others to be stunned. This guy who pretended to be dead was not simple. Little brat, we are from the Xiahou clan. My nephew Xiahou Tian is dead. You have to pay with your life, Xiahou River said loudly. People die every day. Your nephew didn't die in my clinic, so why should I pay with my life? Guopai narrowed his eyes and looked at Xiahou River. Nangong Lingma looked at Guopai with a smirk. If Xiahou Tian's death was not related to this big scoundrel, then who else could it be related to? You're stalling for time. You're waiting for the cloud clothing strange would poison to flare up, right? Guopai said with a smile, but I'll have to disappoint you. I'm a doctor, and your poison has no effect on me. Impossible, impossible. No one can cure the cloud clothing strange with poison. How can you be fine? Xiahou River looked at Guopai and said, you don't need to trick me. If I can't get out of your Bugyaku today, then you're dead. Old Xiao, old Wang, old Xie, since you've come to find trouble with me, then I'll solve it myself. Guo said with a mischievous smile. Today there are so many people here. Our grudges belong to the grudges between martial cultivators. If I die, it's my own fault. If they die, they're just deserts. Guopai said softly. Xiao Yintian and the others knew that Guopai was not weak when it came to Wuxiu, but it wouldn't be easy for him to fight against 4 people. Little you, the 4 of them are not weak. Don't be careless. Why don't you leave them to us? Xiao Yintian looked at Guopai and said. Guopai shook his head gently. Xiao Yintian asked the 4 people from the Xiahou family to walk into the courtyard. The courtyard that was originally full of people suddenly became empty. I've already treated the 10 people in Bugyaku. Today's opening ceremony is over. Please leave. Otherwise, if you accidentally hurt someone, I won't take care of you in Bugyaku. Guopai squinted his eyes and said. The people who originally wanted to watch a show heard Guopai's words and saw some people from the Wu Castle government leaving. They hurriedly left Bugyaku. Sister Lu, come to Bugyaku tomorrow. Bugyaku will auction 5 pills every month. I'll have to trouble you then, Guopai said with a smile. Lu Yin widened her eyes. The highest price of this pill in Bugyaku was 5 million, but if it was put up for auction, it would probably go up to 10 million. Everyone, let's go to the back and have a seat. This is a child's problem. Let him solve it himself. Guopai smiled and pulled the few old people to the back. He knew his grandson's strength. The current Guopai was no longer the stinking brat of the past. He had confidence in his grandson. Xiahou family of the imperial capital, we, the 7 Wounds Fists, will remember this. Since you've come to Wu Castle to look for trouble, you're not giving us any face. If little you has any problems, we'll pay you a visit, Xie Yukue said loudly and turned to leave the courtyard. Xiao Yintian and Wang Tianluo also said. The 4 people from Xiahou family turned ashen. If they killed this brat, there would be a lot of trouble. Don't even think about it. The 4 of you can come to me together. If you can really kill me, then I deserve it. Guopai said with a smile. Just as the 4 people rushed towards him, Guopai made his move. Since he was demoted to the mortal world, this was the first time Guopai had unleashed his full strength. Late stage Xiantian realm. Although they were all late-stage Xiantian realm experts, the difference between them was obvious in a moment. This time there are 4 of them. I'd like to see how many Xiantian realm experts the Xiahou family has sent to their deaths, Guopai said softly as he looked at the 4 people lying lifelessly on the ground. Old Xiao, will Liu Yu be okay? Wang Tianluo asked softly. I don't know. Little Yu's strength should be at the late-stage Xiantian realm. However, I haven't seen Little Yu use his full strength. It's hard to say if he can win, Xiao Yintian said softly. What are you talking about? Destroying corpses is probably your strong suit. I'll leave the rest to you. Don't scare the students of Bugyaku. Chapter 149. Is destroying corpses our forte? Xiao Yintian and the others were stunned. How long had it been? They didn't hear any sounds of fighting. Could it be that it was already over? Xie Yukue quickly walked into the courtyard. The 4 men from the Xiahou family were lying side by side with their eyes wide open. Perhaps they were like Xie Yukue. They didn't know how they died at the hands of such a young man. How could they close their eyes in peace? Old Xiao, did you find anything? Wang Tianluo asked in a low voice as Xiao Yun Tian examined the four corpses. There are no traces of fighting on their bodies. I just checked the late Xiantian Xiaoho River, and there are no problems with his internal organs. I don't know what Wapai did to them. I can't see anything. Old Xiao, the car is here. Take them away. It's bad luck, Xiaoyu Kuei said in a low voice. The few of them stuffed the four corpses into the van parked at the entrance. Then the van drove toward the Marshall City Reservoir. Guopao's lips curled into a faint smile. These people were truly experts at destroying corpses. Old Gua, you have a good grandson. About 10 minutes later, several old men came down from the second floor. When they saw Guopai drinking tea with several sect masters, Wang Yongjin couldn't help but say, the scourge of Wu Castle was really gone. The current Guopai had completely changed Wang Yongjin's view of him. You guys didn't leave because you wanted to have dinner here. Haha, today is a happy day. Dinner is free, and there's enough wine. But if there's anything in Bugyaku in the future, I won't be polite with you guys. Haha, Guopai said with a laugh. Perhaps only you could truly understand Guopai. Following one's heart was the great Tao. Guopai's words made everyone smile. The old men nodded repeatedly. Guopai looked at his grandson and felt very comfortable in his heart. How was it? Didn't you have a headache when mentioning my grandson? Now, my grandson is treating you to a meal, and you're so happy. Haha, there were many people in Bugyaku that night. The president and 5 vice presidents of the Chinese Medicine Association didn't leave. The reason was very simple. They wouldn't let Bugyaku have a meal in the future. At the end of the meal, they actually cried. They had drunk enough wine and started to talk more. Old Lin, I don't dare to be the vice president of the Chinese Medicine Association anymore. I want to work in Bugyaku. At least I don't have to worry about food and drink. Didn't I work? Qin Long said loudly. Lao Qin is right. We also quit. We'll work in Bugyaku. Zhang Tianzheng and Sun Sheng also said dizzily. Wu Shushan didn't drink much. He looked at the 4 vice presidents. 3 of them betrayed him, and the last one fell asleep. Otherwise, the old man Wu Shushan would have quit long ago. But thinking about it, who would be willing to be the president of the Chinese Medicine Association? He also didn't want to do it. Wang Tianluo. In less than a year, those people from Huaxia's Special Ability Group will hold a martial arts competition. You should have received the invitation, right? When the time comes, let's invite Guopai together and let him beat those guys from Huaxia's Special Ability Group to death, Xiao Yun Tian said loudly. I received the invitation. They said that I'm going to watch the competition. What's there to watch? Aren't they just a bunch of guys who basked in God's light? We're already at the late stage of the Xiantian realm. If we really fight, they won't have any advantage. Stop bragging, Wang Tianluo said loudly. Bad guy, bro. Did you really kill those 4 experts from Xiaoho family? Nangong Lingma said and made a throat-slitting gesture. No, we had good chat just now. They left in a car, Guopai said with a smile. Bullsh *T. I fought with that guy who pretended to be sick and almost lost. Also, there's the iron ball that Sister Yuer gave me last time, Little Lingma said softly. That guy's aura disappeared. You must have done it. Then, will Little Ling Mo tell others? Gua asked with a mischievous smile. Of course not. I want to marry you when I grow up. Look at what you're saying. We're on the same side. Nangong Lingma said exaggeratedly. The iron ball given by Sister Yuer is gone. Do you have anything good? Give me some. It's for self-defense. Guopai looked at the expectant Nangong Lingma. Guopai felt helpless when facing this little girl. However, he suddenly remembered that there was something in the old lord's gore that was very suitable for this little girl. So, he directly took it out. I don't have anything for self-defense, but I do have something for escaping. I don't know if you want it, Guopai said with a smile. Of course I want it. What is it? Nangong Lingma asked hurriedly. It's this thing, Guopai said, and a jade ruler appeared in his hand. Little girl, with your understanding of special abilities, I think you can quickly understand this thing. It's called the Land Shrinking Ruler. Study it yourself. If you can't figure it out in 7 days, I'll take it back. Guopai smiled and handed the Land Shrinking Ruler to Nangong Lingma. This land, shrinking ruler, should have been refined by the previous owner of the old lord's gourd for his descendants. The requirements were very low. It could be used by the late stage of the Xiantian realm. It should be just right for little Lingma. Land, shrinking ruler? Why is it so familiar? Is it the land, shrinking ruler from Journey to the West? That's impossible. Nangong Lingma held the land, shrinking ruler, and said to herself. A cool air came from the ruler, making her feel very comfortable. No matter whether I can figure it out or not, this thing is mine. He wants to take back what he gave me. Humph, this big bad guy is really stingy. Guopai looked at Nangong Lingma with a black face. This little girl was definitely a talent. The aftermath of the opening of Bugyaka lasted for a long time. Not only in Wu Castle City, but also many people came from the capital, Shijing, and other places. The price of Bugyaku's registration card was raised to 10 million yuan, and it could be said that there was no market for it. None of the 18 students left. Their work in Bugyaku made the other students of the School of Chinese and Western Medicine of Takashi University very envious. They began to really feel the power of traditional Chinese medicine and started to learn it. This was a story for later. Headmaster, this is this month's income. Take a look. Lu Wan, the girl who was rescued on the opening day, was supposed to be sent to the drug rehabilitation center. However, after 24 hours in the rehabilitation center, she was not addicted to drugs at all and was released. The girl had nowhere to go. Finally, she found Bugyaku based on her memory. No one expected that Guopai would let her stay and let her be in charge of Bugyaku's finances. However, it only took 7 days for the girl to shut everyone in Bugyaku with her performance. Good. It started to make a profit. Your salary next month will be 5,000 yuan per month. You could deduct it from Bugyaku's income. Guopai said with a smile, don't refuse. They have money for treating patients. I can't let you work for free. Headmaster, my life was given to me by you. I can't take Bugyaku's money. However, there's something I have to tell you. Lu Wen said with a smile, I heard Yaoshi and Lung Shuang's conversation a few days ago. Lung Shuang doesn't want to be your disciple because she wants to be your wife. Ha! Also, Sister Luyan has been calling you 3 times a day recently. If you don't call her back, you'll have to treat her endocrine disorder another day. Headmaster, you're the best man I've ever seen with women. If you have time, I want to have a candlelight dinner with you. After saying that, Lu Wen ran out with a smile. Chapter 150. Sister Luyan? It's been a month. She should be coming to me for elixirs, Guopai said with a smile. He thought of the number Lu Yin left for him that day and called her. Bad brother, although I'm a few years older than you and not as young and beautiful as your lovers, you don't have to ignore my call, Lu Yin said with a hint of shyness when she saw that it was Guopai calling. Ahem, sister, you're joking. Actually, I like older girls, but I don't think you like a kid like me, Guopai said jokingly. Sister, if you have time tonight, why don't we meet and talk? Okay, let's meet and talk. I'll come to you tonight. We'll have dinner in Bugyaku. I heard that the food in Bugyaku is very good, Lu Yin said loudly. I originally wanted to ask you out for dinner alone. Since you want to come to Bugyaku, then come. As soon as Guopai's voice fell, Lu Yin blushed. Yes, he asked me out for dinner. Why am I so stupid? No, I have to dress up tonight. Thinking of this, Lu Yin directly went home from the auction. Yaoshi, don't say that I didn't tell you that Lu Yin will come to our clinic for dinner tonight. She should dress up very beautifully. You, Lung Shuang, and Hiemo should dress up well and compete with her, lest she keeps having ideas about the owner of the clinic. Shunjiadi heard the conversation between the two when Guopai was on the phone. He then told Lu Yaoshi, who was studying Chinese medicine, let her come. She's a guest, and we're the owners of Bugyaku. Our identities are different. There's no need to compete with her. Although Lu Yaoshi said so, he secretly thought that he had to change into beautiful clothes after work. It was originally in the Guo family's old house, but recently she couldn't stay idle. It took her 3 days to figure out what the shrinking ruler was. Originally, she pestered Guopai to tell her more about the shrinking ruler, but Guopai didn't dare to teach Nangong Lingma too much. This little delinquent girl could do anything. He had done a lot of things in the past, and now he didn't want to do it for others. So he simply asked Nangong Lingma to find Yu directly. Lingma, you've been here for a week. You don't need to use the shrinking ruler in general. You better go back to school. In the beginning, Yu could still teach Nangong Lingma how to use the land shrinking ruler, but later, she couldn't stand the little girl's behavior. Sister, so you're taking a bath. Then I'll go first. By the way, sister, do all men like big breasts? Little Lingma looked at Yu and said, which made Yu blush. Sister, why can I come here easily every time I want to come here? It's always hard to go to other places. At 10 o'clock in the evening, Yu, who liked to sleep naked, just took off her clothes, and little Lingma appeared in her room again. Why are you covering it? We're both women. I have everything that you have. However, big sister, you're really fair. But whose teeth marks are those on your shoulder? Could it be that you bit your own shoulder? After saying that, Yu was left in the room with a flushed face. Outside the room, little Ling Mo began to giggle. Lingma, go out. In the Bugyaku's female toilet, Jia Xiaoxiao screamed. Think about it, a girl was in the toilet, and suddenly there was an extra person in the toilet. Who wouldn't be scared? Sister, why are you shouting? Am I not awesome? After saying that, Yu disappeared in the room. The students in Bugyaku knew that Nangong Lingma was a paranormal. Although they were not surprised by some of the girl's actions, they were still scared by Lingma's sudden appearance. Withdraw! Guopai shouted helplessly when he saw that Nangong Lingma could already play with the ruler. Nangong Lingma, who was playing happily, suddenly felt that the connection between her and the ruler disappeared. Then she became alert. However, when she looked around, she didn't see anyone, but the ruler was gone. Bad brother, this is bad. Something big has happened. Hurry up and come out. Nangong Lingma shouted in Bugyaku. Guopai came out with the ruler in his hand. Nangong Lingma looked at the ruler with shining eyes and said in a very tired voice, Brother bad guy, I won't use it anymore. Get back to me. Go back to school and stay there. Read the books I gave you. It seems that the paranormal martial arts competition you mentioned will start in a few months. I don't want you to die there, Guopai said seriously. Got it. I'll go back right away. After saying that, Nangong Lingma grabbed the ruler and ran away. It's been a month. I have to go to the Gu family in the capital next month to deal with Lin Shuang's matter. Guopai thought about it. He had stayed in Bugyaku for a month. His students had made rapid progress. Especially Mo ordinary problems were not difficult for her. He also had to go to the ghost doctor's 13 needles when he came back from the capital. Bugyaku had many patients every day. Many people in Wu Castle City knew that Bugyaku could not only cure some difficult diseases, but also cure common headaches and fever with Chinese medicine. Compared with Western medicine, it had no side effects and was very cheap. It was very popular. At 5:30 in the afternoon, the lanterns in front of Bugyaku were lit. At first, there were people coming to the clinic after the lanterns were lit. But now, except for some emergency cases, no one would disturb Bugyaku. Because they knew that Bugyaku's lanterns were lit because the owner of Bugyaku was giving a lecture to the staff. It was impolite to disturb them now. Su, I saw the prescription you gave today. The amount of ginseng in it is too much. It's not that Bugyaku cares about the ginseng, but if the amount is too much, it may not have the desired effect. Guopai said with a smile. Emperor Jia, you can figure out the pulse of pregnancy today. Not bad, not bad. People sent you a pack of eggs. You should accept such a gift. It's a happy occasion. Guopai said with a smile. Shinjiadi's face was red. A few days ago, he said that the massage was as smooth as rolling balls. He did not expect that Chunjiadi would meet him today. Guopai did a follow-up visit. Unexpectedly, Chunjiadi really got it right, which made a young couple very excited. They sent a pack of eggs. Chunjiadi did not accept it, but Guopai finally asked him to accept it. This was a merit. Why couldn't he accept it? PMO, the acupuncture treatment, is much more stable than last week. Remember, you can continue to use 13 needles, but you must pay attention to the degree. A doctor has the heart of a parent. If a doctor can't guarantee his own safety, How can he help more people? Guopai looked at Hemo and said with a smile. Then he commented on the work of the other students one by one. Li Yu and the others felt that this was the happiest time of the day because they would gain something every day. After work, the renovation of No Medical Hall has been completed. In the future, it will be Bugyaku's staff dormitory. You don't have to stay in the hotel anymore. Guopai said with a smile. You can settle the matter of the rooms yourselves. The boys and girls will stay separately. Uncle Zhou and I are going to prepare dinner. Let's eat together later. Hall Master, you forgot to mention one thing. The beauty Luyin from the auction will be coming for dinner later. Shen Jeti spoke in a loud voice. Guopao nodded lightly. To think that someone was eavesdropping on him. Could it be that Shen Jeti didn't know? This was a big crime, a big crime. Chapter 151. Lung Shuang and Lu Yaosher looked at each other and nodded slightly. The 18 students were divided into two groups. 9 of them went back first, and the remaining 9 stayed in the clinic to ensure that they could receive them if anyone came during this period of time. Guopao smiled and nodded. No, the money the clinic brought this month was secondary. The merit was what Guopao wanted the most. Little bad. I feel that something is wrong with me recently, but I don't know what's going on. Help me take a look. Today, let that brat Xiao Qin take my pulse. He said that I've been eating too well recently, and the energy in my body can't leak out. He said that I should go find a woman. You have to take care of this brat. Zhou Tianyang said with a red face. This Xiao Qin actually dared to joke with Uncle Zhou. Guopai smiled and put his finger on Zhou Tianyang's wrist. A moment later, Guopai laughed again. Little bad, what's wrong? Is there anything wrong? Zhou Tianyang looked at Guopai and asked with a face full of suspicion. Uncle Zhou, Xiao Qian is right. You've been eating too well recently. If you find a woman, it would be a good choice. Guopai didn't care about Zhou Tianyang's surprised expression and said, I think Luwen is not bad. She always comes to you when she has nothing to do. She doesn't mind that you're old, so you should just make do. Zhou Tianyang's face turned red. Luwen had been here for less than a month. This girl was very interested in cooking and often came to find Zhou Tianyang. Luwen's personality was very cheerful, and Zhou Tianyang liked her very much. Damn, there's adultery. There really is adultery. Guopai looked at the red-faced Zhou Tianyang and said loudly, Uncle Zhou, I didn't see that there's actually old Nio's potential to eat young grass. Okay, before I go to the capital, I'll help you with this matter. Little bad, lower your voice. Zhou Tianyang stepped forward and covered Guopai's mouth. Then he looked around and took a deep breath. Luckily, there was no one around. Let's talk about what's going on with me first. Why do I feel like my body is filled with energy, but I can't release it? I can't sleep well either. My heart is in a mess. If this goes on, I'm afraid I'll go crazy, Zhou Tianyang said softly. Let's talk about the matter between you and Luwen first. Otherwise, I won't care about your matter anymore, Guopai said with a smile. What else could it be? I quite like this girl, and she has a good impression of me. What's the matter? We're dating right now. Dojo Master Gua, what else do you want to know? Zhou Tianyang said loudly. Uncle Zhou, it turns out that the man who was hugging Sister Wenwen at the cinema that day was really you. We thought we saw it wrong and called Sister Wenwen. Why did you run away? Lu Yaosher and Hemo were wandering around the medical center when they saw Guopai and Zhou Tianyang. They didn't expect to hear such shocking news. Little Mo, you can't talk nonsense. Wenwen is thin-skinned, so you can't talk nonsense. Zhou Tianyang said with a red face. This was great. The matter between him and Lu Wen couldn't be hidden anymore. What's there to hide about love between a man and a woman? We'll go find Sister Wenwen in a while and help Uncle Zhou find out what Sister Wenwen means. Lu Yaosher said as she pulled Hemo and ran out, ignoring Zhou Tianyang who was calling for them. Zhou Tianyang was also straightforward. If they knew, then so be it. The man wasn't married and the woman wasn't married. So what if they were together? It wasn't illegal. Little bad. Now that you know, you should tell me what's going on with me. Zhou Tianyang looked at Guopai and said, Didn't I say just now? You ate too many good things and are about to break through to the Xiantian realm. But if you do it well, then you'll break through. If you don't, even if Lu Wen doesn't become a widow, if you want to carry on the family line in the future, I won't have any good methods. Guo Pai said with a smirk. Headmaster, I don't care. I'm not an employee of the medical center. I have the right to enjoy your treatment. It's up to you. It doesn't matter if I break through or not. Anyway, you have to keep me in this state, Zhou Tianyang said fearlessly. It turns out that Uncle Zhou is so useless. I don't know why Sister Wenwen likes you. I originally wanted to give you some medicine to help you break through, but since you only want to keep your current state, then it's easy. I'll give you a few needles later and release the energy accumulated from the supplements you secretly ate these days. Guo Pai said as he held the silver needles in his hand. Little bad. I've already sold myself to you. How can you do this? My wife will be Bugyaku's soon, and my child will also be Bugyaku's. What else do you want? Zhou Tianyang said with a red face. Haha, before I go to the capital, I'll settle it for you. I really didn't expect that the first person to break through to the Xiantian realm would be you, Uncle Zhou. It seems like being a chef is always the best profession. You can even eat a master in the enlightening stage. Haha, but that's good too. With Uncle Zhou in charge of Bugyaku, the safety of Bugyaku will be in your hands. Guo Pai said with a smile. Guo Pai was right about one thing. Zhou Tianyang cooked all kinds of ingredients provided by Guo Pai every day. He indeed ate more good things than others. In addition, he was originally in the late stage of the Xiantian realm. His hidden illness had been cured by Guo Pai, so the enlightening stage could be considered as a matter of course. Uncle Zhou, you made this big wooden bucket. Who are you treating today? Chen Jiadi looked at Zhou Tianyang, carrying the wooden bucket that he used to treat Xiao Feiyang's illness. Cook me today. Call Su Tu, Xiao Qian, and Li Yu over and add water for me. If I'm ruined here today, then you guys could drink Beifong from now on. Zhou Tianyang said loudly. Breaking through to the Xiantian realm? In Zhou Tianyang's impression, all the masters in Huaxia who broke through to the Xiantian realm could be found with just 2 hands. Guo Pai said that there was no danger. So how could there be no danger? If there was no danger, then the masters in the enlightening stage would be like cabbages everywhere. After working for about an hour, everything was prepared. However, Guo Pai told everyone that the time wasn't right, and that they should eat first because Lu Yin was here. Zhou Tianyang wanted to say something, but when he saw Guo Pai's smirk, he decided not to say anything and just let it be. Other than Zhou Tianyang and Lu Wen, everyone had a relaxing dinner. Guo Pai told them about the matters of going to Beijing tomorrow. He also called a few old guys in the Chinese Medicine Association and asked them to take turns to treat patients in Bugyaku. At this time, he looked at Zhou Tianyang, who didn't eat much for dinner, and smiled. Sister Lu Yin, I won't be sending you off today. Keep the medicinal pills well. When the time comes, just transfer the money directly to your card. You can take as much as you want. Call Lu Wen and tell her. Guo Pai said with a smile. I just heard little one say that she's going to treat Uncle Zhou later. Do you want me to stay for a while before leaving? Lu Yin was very interested in Guo Pai's medical skills and said with a smile. If you want to stay, then stay and take a look. However, I have to correct you. This is not little one. In a few days, you have to call her Aunt Wen. Otherwise, the seniority won't match. Haha. Guo Pai's words made Zhou Tianyang and Lu Wen's faces turn red. Don't be idle. Today's weather is good. Uncle Zhou, do you want to jump in yourself, or do we have to throw you in? Chapter 152. Zhou Tianyang looked at Guo Pai and then looked at Lu Wen. Lu Wen bit her lips. Zhou Tianyang nodded slightly and jumped into the wooden bucket filled with boiling water. Don't just stand there. Add the medicine according to the order I told you. If Uncle Zhou dies because of the lack of medicine, you'll all be responsible. Guo Pai shouted. Chen Jiadi and the others saw that Guo Pai didn't seem to be lying. They gathered their energy and poured the medicine into the wooden bucket. Little Mo, who's so hot? Is he all right? Lu Wen bit her lips as she looked at the steam coming out of the wooden barrel and asked Mo softly. Who is it? Mo smiled and looked at his sister who was only a few years older than him. Entwen, are you talking about Uncle Zhou? Little Emo, I'm not talking to you anymore. Lu Wen said with a red face. I'll go ask Xiao Shi. Entwen, don't worry. It's nothing. Don't you know Guo Pai's ability? Lu Yaoshi also joked. Scoundrel Guo, you're not even calling him dojo master. Looks like little Shi, you want to be the dojo master's wife, Lu Wen said with a red face. Her words made Lu Yaoshi's face turn red. Ah, it hurts. Little bad. Didn't you say it didn't hurt? Zhou Tianyang shouted in the wooden bucket. This pain is nothing. Just bear with it. Uncle Zhou, there are only a few chances like this in a person's life. If you can't grasp it this time, then you'll be stuck at the enlightened stage for the rest of your life. Guo Pao shouted. Zhou Tianyang, who was in the wooden tub, nodded his head lightly. That's right, this is the only chance I have. I have to break through. Who's breaking through? 3,000 kilometers away, on the old site of Mount Buzhou, an old man slowly opened his eyes. This old man was already at the late stage of the enlightened stage. He could clearly feel the changes in the weather caused by Zhou Tianyang's breakthrough. Peng Tianhua, so you've sensed it too. I thought it was just an illusion. Who would have thought that in less than 100 years, someone else is about to break through? An old man of indeterminate age appeared beside Peng Tianhua and said with a smile, Madman Qin, the location of the breakthrough seems to be Wu Castle City. I don't remember Wu Xiu in Wu Castle. I don't know who it is. Peng Tianhua said with a smile. Do you remember the energy fluctuation a few days ago? It seems to be from Wu Castle City. Maybe it's some expert who settled down in Wu Castle. Qin Fengyu said with a smile. A few days ago, a little guy from a sect came to the mountain and said that there was a Bugyaku in Wu Castle City. I don't know which hidden sect's disciple did it. The master of the medical center is very skilled. So what? What does it have to do with us? No matter how good his medical skills are, can he cure both of our injuries? Haha, man, don't think about it. I'm going to cultivate. After that, Peng Tianhua disappeared from the mountaintop. It's hard to say. Maybe he can cure us. If you don't go, I'll go. If I'm really cured, I'll teach you a lesson. After that, Qin Fengyu disappeared from the mountaintop. Master, there's no movement in the bucket. After about half an hour, all the herbs were put into the bucket. Originally, they could still hear Zhou Tianyang's groaning, but after 15 minutes, there was no movement in the bucket at all. It's good that there's no movement. After being poisoned by so many vicious drugs, even an immortal would be done for. Guo Pai said with a smile. The few people laughed. If they hadn't stayed with Guo Pai for a month, they would have been scared. But now, they had adapted to Guo Pai's way of speaking. Not bad. You could still laugh now. You guys take turns to feel Uncle Zhou's pulse. Remember this pulse. If I'm not in the clinic these days, and someone asks you to see a pulse like this, you can directly ask Uncle Zhou to deal with it. Guo Pai said with a smile. The 18 Bugyaku staff members stood in a row and took turns to feel Zhou Tianyang's pulse. Bad brother, is old Zhou okay? Look, he's not moving at all. Quickly wake him up. Lu Wen bit her lips and walked to Guo Pai's side. Lu Yen yawned. She thought that she would be able to see some wonderful treatment process. She didn't expect that Guo Pai didn't even use any silver needles. It was boring. If she had known earlier, she would have gone back first. Uncle Zhou, I don't have many dawn. If you can't break through, I'll have to refine you into medicine. With that, Guo Pai stuffed a 7-colored dawn into Zhou Tianyang's mouth. Zhou Tianyang, who was still not breathing a moment ago, began to slowly bulge his muscles, making the 18 students retreat a few steps. Your life is in your hands, not his. Uncle Zhou, think about it. Guo Pai roared. His hand flashed with a silver light, and 9 needles were inserted into Zhou Tianyang's body almost at the same time. Zhou Tianyang then roared. Fortunately, Bugyaku's house was sturdy, but the windows of several medical centers around Bugyaku were shattered. I forgot about this matter. Guo Pai found that Zhou Tianyang's movements were a little big. He threw 6 pieces of jade beside Zhou Tianyang, forming an isolation array. Only then did he take a deep breath. Is Master Gui here? Is there anything wrong with your medical center? I heard a roar just now. It seems like it came from your side. The police on Xinglin Street were very efficient. In less than 3 minutes, the police had already arrived in front of Bagyaku's door. Brother Zhang, it's nothing. I also heard a roar just now. We are fine here, Guo Pai said with a smile. Zhang Fong looked at Bagyaku's courtyard full of people and smiled and walked away. Uncle Zhou, I know you can hear me. I will teach you a mental cultivation method in a while. Take advantage of the moonlight to comprehend it. Guo Pai said softly, Go back and rest. There is nothing else here. I will go directly to the imperial capital tomorrow. If there is anything, just call me. What about old Zhou? Lu Wen asked anxiously. He will wake up around 5 o'clock tomorrow. At that time, he will know what to eat. Guo Pai said with a smile. Sister Wen, when I come back from the imperial capital, I will settle the matter between you and Uncle Zhou. Ha! After saying that, Guo Pai walked to Liu Yin's side and pulled her out of Bagyaku. After a while, only Zhou Tianyang, who was sitting cross-legged in the wooden bucket, and Liu Yin, who was sitting on the steps at the door, were left in Bagyaku. Sister Liu Yin, did I let you down? Ha ha! Guo Pai looked at the listless Liu Yin and said with a smile. It's okay. But are you really okay to ignore Uncle Zhou like this? Liu Yin said with a trace of worry. It's okay. It's too late. Let me send you back. Guo Pai said with a smile. Without waiting for Liu Yin's consent, he directly sat in the driver's seat. Liu Yin handed the key to Guo Pai helplessly. Then, she saw the ability of Guo Pai, who was full of 4 evils and 5 poisons in Wu Castle. Sigh, I really can't imagine how he could be so seriously injured with such speed. Guo Pai said to himself, Sister Liu Yin, we have arrived. Get off the car. Here is the key. You could drive the car back. It's so far away. How long can you walk? Liu Yin said with a smile. Why don't you stay here today? Come upstairs with me. There is no one at home. After saying that, Liu Yin's face turned red. It's a full moon night. Forget it. But next time, I will go to your house. Ha! After saying that, Liu Yin still wanted to say something, but she found that Guo Pai had disappeared in front of her eyes. Bad guy, bad guy. Don't tell me I like this little guy. Liu Yin touched her face and whispered. Chapter 153. Guo Pai didn't fly on his sword. Instead, he took a taxi back to Bagyaku. He saw Lu Wen sitting on the steps and looking at Zhou Tianyang. He nodded gently. Not bad, this girl is not bad. When it was past midnight, he wanted to do a divination. However, just as he was about to do it, Yu appeared in front of him. Big bad guy, not bad this time. You didn't spend the night outside. How are you going to go to the capital? Flying on your sword? Yu said with a smile. Now that you mention it, I really didn't think about it. Flying on my sword doesn't seem possible. It's so far away. With my current state, I definitely can't do it. Guo Pai said with a smile. Take it. This is the plane ticket I booked for you. The flight is tomorrow afternoon. It's a direct flight from Martial City to the imperial capital. I won't be going with you. The person who can defeat the mind-reading true monarch hasn't been born yet, Yu said with a smile. Yu, the person who could defeat me is right in front of me, Guo Pai said as he pulled Yu into the house. Then, he set up a formation and the house was filled with endless spring scenery. Yu, the meal is ready. Have a good rest. I'm going to the capital. At 7 o'clock in the morning, Guo Pai got dressed and put some meat porridge on the table. He glanced at Yu, who was lying on the bed, and licked his lips before walking out. Big bad guy, you're going out so early. You must be going to find those girls. Yu pouted and said the moment Guo Pai walked out of the room. However, Yu didn't wrong Guo Pai. She stepped on the accelerator, and Guo Pai arrived at the gate of Wu Castle Affiliated Middle School. When Li Wei saw Guo Pai, he was very friendly. The two chatted for a while. Guo Pai parked the car outside and walked straight in. Clang, clang, clang. Someone knocked on Lin Shuang's office door. Lin Shuang didn't even raise her head. Ever since she came back from Bagyaku and saw Guo Pai's performance in Bagyaku, Lin Shuang had developed a different kind of feeling towards this big boy. Although they had slept together, Lin Shuang didn't truly acknowledge Guo Pai until she came back from Bagyaku. Blurg, blurg. Lin Shuang suddenly felt her stomach churn. She ran to the side of the pool again. After washing up, Lin Shuang took a deep breath. Her best friend was supposed to be here, but had not arrived yet. Her heart tightened. Could she have really been shot? Eat this, and you'll feel better. Guo Pai gently walked to Lin Shuang's side and handed her a cyan-colored pill. Lin Shuang was shocked and tears started flowing down from her eyes. You guessed right just now. You're pregnant. The child is yours and mine. Guo Pai said softly, I'll take responsibility until the end. I came to you today to tell you that I'll go to the Gu family this afternoon. I'll settle the marriage contract between you and the Gu family. No one can take my wife away from me. Big bad guy. Did you already know that I was pregnant? Why did you only tell me now? Lin Shuang cried and said, Don't go to the Gu family. The Gu family's ability is not as simple as you think. You can kill the people from the Xiaohou family, but you can't kill the Gu family. If you offend the Gu family, you'll be going against the entire Hua Xia special ability group. The consequences will be unimaginable. Don't worry, I'll settle the Gu family. When the time comes, I'll go to the Lin family to propose marriage. Don't worry. After Guo Pai finished speaking, he helped Lin Shuang wipe her tears and gently kissed her forehead. He then turned and walked out. Guo Pai, don't go to the Gu family. I'll talk to the Gu family. You can't go. I don't want our child to be born fatherless, Lin Shuang shouted. Guo Pai turned around and smiled at Lin Shuang. A string of Buddha beads fell in front of Lin Shuang. Wear it. Don't worry. The person who wants to take my life hasn't been born yet. Take care of yourself and wait for me to come back. After saying that, Guo Pai walked out. The moment Lin Shuang picked up the Buddha beads, an extremely pure energy filled her body. Lin Shuang felt unprecedentedly comfortable. Guo Pai appeared in Nangong Lingma and Murong Weiwei's dormitory and said with a smile, Little Lingma, you're still sleeping. With your cultivation attitude, what do you want me to say about you? Bad guy you, why are you here? Little Lingma raised his head and said, The land-shrinking ruler is no longer interesting. Do you have any other good things on you? Give me another one. Ahem, little girl, do you think that magical treasures are like cabbages that can be found everywhere? Guo Pai said loudly, I'm going to the capital this afternoon. If you're free, help me secretly protect teacher Lin Shuang. Why come back? I'll give you something good. I knew that you had an affair with teacher Lin Shuang. Nangong Lingma pouted and said, Why are you going to the capital? Why don't you take me with you? Wu Castle is not interesting. Teacher Lin Shuang is in school, so no one will cause trouble for her. I'm going to the Gu family to cause trouble. Are you coming? Guo Pai said with a smile. Cause trouble at the Gu family? Forget it. You can go by yourself. But be careful. The Gu family is backed by the entire Hua Xia special ability group. If you really provoke them, it won't end well, Nangong Lingma whispered. Should I tell Sister Weiwei and the others about this? No need to tell them. If there's anything you can't solve in Wu Castle, go to Bugyaku and find Uncle Zhou, Guo Pai said with a smile. He's just a late-stage Xiantian. If there's really trouble, it's useless to find him, Nangong Lingma whispered. You've already broken through to the Xiantian realm. Haha, little girl, cultivate well. The martial arts tournament is in a few months. When the time comes, bully those who want to bully you, Guo Pai said and disappeared from Nangong Lingma's room. What realm is Brother Bad Guy in now? He can actually disappear in front of me. His understanding of space is too terrifying. No, I have to cultivate well, Nangong Lingma murmured. Guo Pai stood on the highest floor of the Wu Castle affiliated high school. He watched Tang Shi and Su Yi come out of the classroom. Yu Yu walk out of the library, Murong Weiwei walk back to the dormitory, and Sun Lingling walk out of the laboratory. He couldn't help but sigh again. The world was really good. Guo Pai didn't drive his car. He took a taxi from the Wu Castle affiliated high school to the airport. He didn't have any luggage. Guo Pai smoothly passed the security check. Seeing that he was about to board the plane, his heart suddenly tightened. He didn't have any divination this time. Could it be that something bad would happen? Guo Pai walked to his seat under the guidance of the stewardess. Although it was his second time on a plane, Guo Pai didn't have a good impression of planes. Hello, may I exchange seats with you? My cousin is pregnant and wants a seat by the window. A girl in her 20s looked at Guopai and said. Guopai nodded slightly. His eyes fell on a pregnant woman behind the girl. Thank you, the girl said politely. Guopai smiled and closed his eyes. What the eye doesn't see, the heart doesn't grieve over. Hurry up and take off and land. My request isn't high at all. Cousin, we are really unlucky this time. I didn't expect the owner of Bugyaku to be out. Next time, let's contact them in advance. But Bugyaku has prescribed some medicine to prevent miscarriage. The child will be fine. The girl said with a smile. It's a boy. The umbilical cord is wrapped around his neck. That's a bit too much. But this child will have a tribulation when he is young. Why would he have a tribulation at such a young age? Guopai thought to himself, when a plane lands, I will help you. Capital, I am coming. Chapter 154. The plane was not late and took off as usual. The sense of weightlessness during the takeoff made Guopai feel a little uncomfortable, but it was soon over. Cousin, we're going home in an hour or so. Brother-in-law is really too much. He actually went back early. AI, when we go back, I'll let my aunt teach him a lesson. The girl said with a smile. Mayer, don't tell Mom. Tung Fei may have something urgent. Otherwise, he wouldn't be in a hurry to go back early. The pregnant woman said with a smile, It's good that the child is fine. I guess when the child is born, Tung Fei won't be so impatient. Cousin, only you can tolerate people like Xian Yuan Tung Fei. AI, I won't say anymore. Humayer sighed and said, Cousin, look at the person who changed your seat. He's so handsome, much more handsome than brother-in-law. You're a love-struck fool. The pregnant woman smiled and said no more. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Huaxia Airlines Flight 1661 from Wu Castle to the capital. The flight distance of this flight is 2,033 kilometers. The estimated flight time is 1 hour and 48 minutes. In order to ensure the normal operation of the aircraft's navigation and communication system, please do not use a laptop during the takeoff and landing process. Please do not use mobile phones, electronic game consoles, audio receivers, and other electronic devices during the entire flight. Please sit down, fasten your seatbelt, and put away the seat back and small table. Please make sure that your belongings are properly placed in the overhead luggage rack or under the seat. I'm the captain of this flight, Wang Shui. If you need any assistance, please inform the flight attendants. We will do our best to provide you with timely and thoughtful service. A beautiful woman stood at the front of the plane and said to everyone with a smile, This flight ticket is not bad. At least the captain and the flight attendants look good. Guopai said with a smile. His voice was very low, but a strong man beside him heard it. Little brother, you're also going to the capital? I didn't see you bring any luggage. Are you going on a trip? The muscular man said with a smile. However, when Guopai's mind-reading ability fell on the muscular man's body, Guopai shook his head helplessly. Damn it, I can't take a plane more than a few times in my life. I didn't expect to encounter such a situation the first time. Cousin, I once saw a report saying that the probability of a pregnant woman giving birth to a boy on a plane is 3 times higher than a girl. But the probability of a pregnant woman giving birth on a plane is 1 in 3 million. Humayer said with a smile. Also, the probability of encountering a hijacking in a plane is about the same as winning the lottery. Hee hee. Humayer's words made the muscular man beside Guopai laugh. Beauty, the probability of encountering a hijacking on a plane and a pregnant woman giving birth at the same time is almost 1 in 100 million, a young man wearing glasses behind the brawny man said with a smile. Guopai turned his head and looked at the young man. In his heart, he said not good. This Humayer could have said anything, but she just had to say something about giving birth on the plane and meeting such a pervert. Captain Wang Shui, can you lend me your microphone? The young man stood up and said with a smile. This passenger, please sit down. I don't know why you need the microphone. Wang Shui said with a smile. Bang, bang, bang. I'm sorry. I don't like to explain anything to people. Can you give me the microphone? The young man still maintained his smile. Don't contact the ground. I now announce that everyone has won the lottery because we hijacked the plane. The young man glanced to Hume Air and said, Brother Yang, the cockpit is under our control. All the security personnel have been taken care of. A man in a black suit at the back of the plane said with a smile. Originally, I just wanted to hijack the plane for fun, but I just heard a more creative idea. I think hijacking is really boring. I'm really out of it. The young man's gaze fell on the pregnant woman. Guopai shook his head helplessly. This young man is definitely the most perverted person I have seen since I came to the human world. I have won the lottery many times. Now, I need a bet with everyone here. Everyone say, will this pregnant woman give birth to a boy or a girl? If you answer correctly, as long as each of you give me 10 million, I guarantee that you won't die. If you guess wrong, I'm sorry, I don't want your money. The young man said with a smile, Brother Yang, your bet is good. I also want to participate. I bet that it's a boy, 100 million. A young man about the same age as the young man said loudly, Doctor, is there a doctor on the plane? If there isn't, it doesn't matter. I think I have a way to know if the child in this beauty's belly is a boy or a girl. As he said that, a shiny silver knife appeared in the young man's hand. Young man, we will give you the money. Let us go. You will suffer retribution for doing this. An old man, sitting in the front row, couldn't help but say, Bang! The old man was shot between his eyebrows. Sorry, I misfired. Does anyone have any other good suggestions? I forgot to tell everyone that my name is Lu Xiang. It seems that the Huaxia police have been looking for me for a long time. My life is very valuable. The bounty has reached 10 billion. You can also take a gamble. The 10 billion is very tempting. The young man said with a smile, If there is no doctor, I will do it myself. Hume Air was completely scared. She didn't expect that her words would bring disaster to her cousin. Friend, I know some medical skills. I think I can make the child give birth smoothly. I don't know if you can let me have a try. Guopai stood up and said with a smile, Haha, young man, I like people who dare to challenge. Go ahead. I hope you can do it. Ha! Lu Xiang said with a smile. There are a total of 13 robbers. This Lu Xiang is at the late stage of the Xiantian realm, and the others are all at the middle stage of the Xiantian realm. Why didn't I find out at the beginning? Damn it, I can't handle 13 people at once. If their guns misfire and accidentally injure people, it will be fine. But if the plane is damaged, I will really be dead. Guopai secretly analyzed in his heart. Boy, I didn't expect that you were a doctor in Armani clothes. Ha! The strong man sitting next to Guopai said with a smile. Girl, are you nervous? Guopai looked at Humeyer, who was crying, and said softly, I need you to believe me. This child has been in the womb for long enough. My method of making the child come out is a bit special. I hope you can cooperate with me. Guopai looked at the pregnant woman and Humeyer and said, I forgot to introduce myself. I am Guopai, the owner of Bugyaku. We are very fated. You couldn't find me when you looked for me, so we met on the plane. Guopai said with a smile, trying to calm the pregnant woman down. You are Humeyer. What is this sister's name? Guopai asked with a smile. Shui Duo. The pregnant woman said softly. When she heard Guopai say that he was the owner of Bugyaku, she looked at Guopai a few times in disbelief. If that was the case, it didn't matter if she died. She hoped that her child could be saved. Chapter 155. Boy, there is not much fuel on the plane. I will give you 20 minutes. If you can't do it, then I will teach you how to do it. Lu Xiang looked at Guopai chatting with the two women and said with a smile, Brother Yang, right? Why don't we make another bet? I bet that there is a pair of twins in this belly. The boy is the older brother, the girl is the younger sister, and the boy will have a mole on his ear. I don't know if Brother Yang dares to bet. Guopai said with a smile, If I guess wrong, Brother Yang can do whatever you want with this boy's little life, but if I guess right, can you let go of the children and their mother? Haha, interesting, really interesting. Lu Xiang said with a smile, Bet, such a bet is definitely a bet. I promise you, if it is really like what you said, I will let go of the children and their mother. Then I will thank Brother Yang on behalf of all the mothers with children on the plane. Guopai said with a smile. He bet right. For a paranoid person like Lu Xiang, He will bet everything he thinks he can win, and more importantly, he will keep the bet. Brat, are you playing with me? I said to let go of the mother and child, but I didn't say to let go of all the mothers and children on the plane. Lu Xiang returned to his senses and said gloomily, I have already promised. Do you still want to go back on your word? Is it that Brother Yang also thinks that you will lose the bet with this brat? Ha! Guo Pai said with a smile. I don't believe it. Do you have X-ray vision? You go and help the pregnant woman with the delivery. We brothers don't have time to play with you. Lu Xiang said loudly. Don't worry. You have just affected the baby. You just need to do as I say. Guo Pai said softly. Captain, tell your flight attendants not to cry. If they really die, no one can escape. Prepare a blanket and hot water for me. Quickly. Wang Shui looked at Guo Pai. She didn't know why, but she had a feeling deep in her heart that this young man would help her and everyone on the plane. All the people on the plane looked at Guo Pai and Shui Duo nervously. More than a dozen robbers began to blackmail the hundreds of people on the plane one by one. From time to time, the sound of people being beaten by the robbers because they did not cooperate could be heard. What? You said that a duo has already boarded the plane and lost contact with the base. Where did you get the news? Is it reliable? The peace of the Xianyuan family was completely broken by a phone call. Xianyuan Tengfei, the young master of the Xianyuan family, was livid. His wife and children were on the plane. They were supposed to come back together this afternoon, but he came back early because of family matters. B****. I want to know what happened on the plane immediately. Contact the Huaxiao military and tell them to make sure Duo and her son are safe no matter what, Xianyuan Tengfei said loudly into the phone. You're saying that the chairman's plane was hijacked today. Where did you get the news? Is it reliable? In a luxurious office in the capital, several middle-aged men had heavy expressions. That's right, Lu Yinxiao, the chairman of Yinxiao Real Estate in the capital, was also on the plane. Where did you get the news? Grandpa and Grandma are on the plane. Contact Huaxia Airlines immediately to verify if the matter is true. A young man was still practicing boxing in the yard, but a phone call disrupted his rhythm. At this time, the phone of Huaxia Airlines was about to explode. They had just found out that the plane from Wu Castle to the capital had lost contact with the base today. However, they didn't know who spread the news. Now, the entire Huaxia Airlines was in chaos. Find a way to get in touch with the plane. If it's really a hijacking, ensure the safety of the people on the plane at all costs and agree to any request of the robbers. This was the notice just issued by the board of directors of Huaxia Airlines. When they found out that the young master's wife of the Xianyuan family was on the plane, all the board of directors were stunned. If that woman was alive because something happened to the child in her belly, then Huaxia Airlines should prepare to close down. All the board members would face the revenge of the Xianyuan family. That would be a disaster. Old Chief, it's not that we don't want to send a plane out. Have you thought about it? If we rashly take off a fighter jet now and force the plane to land, if it's really as the outside world says, the plane is hijacked, it's very likely that the robbers will be angry. The consequences will be unimaginable. Li Doqian received a call from the chief of Huaxia and carefully analyzed the current situation. Then what should we do? If it's really a hijacking, this time Huaxia is really in trouble. Now we have the list of all the people on the plane. There are a total of 113 passengers. We have verified that 13 of them are suspicious. Among the others, there are 83 people who are born in the capital. These people have great influence in Huaxia. If anything happens to them, it will have a big impact on Huaxia. The chief said softly. I've seen the list. The situation is not as bad as you said. Guo Xuaning's grandson is on the plane. Everything still has a chance to turn around. Li Doqian originally did not want to say it, but now he had to say it. The grandson of academician Guo of Huaxia Scientific Research Institute. He's also on the plane. I think he's Guo Xuaning's son. I've heard of this kid more or less. What does whether he's on the plane or not have anything to do with solving the problem? The chief asked indifferently. You'll know when the time comes. Our Lei Dian has found the plane. Now the plane is flying normally, but we don't know the situation on the plane now. Li Doqian said softly. If the plane has any abnormalities or there are signs of escape, Find a way to make an emergency landing. The chief said helplessly. The people on the plane can't be taken abroad, otherwise the trouble will be really big. Hello. The hot water is ready. This is a blanket. Do you need anything else? Wang Shui's efficiency was very high. In about 5 minutes, the things Guo Pai wanted were ready. I don't need anything else. You find a place to sit and rest. Leave the rest to me. Guo Pai said softly, who may catch the child a while. With that, Guo Pai gently lifted Shui Duo's shirt and exposed her belly. Then he used his finger to point at the hot water Wang Shui brought over and drew a few circles on Shui Duo's belly. Master Guo, I'm hurrying. The children in my belly are moving. Shui Duo said excitedly. The two little guys are not obedient. The umbilical cord is wrapped around the neck. I'll let them out first. When I first saw you, I realized that the children in your belly had a calamity. So was this calamity. However, one who survives a great calamity is bound to have good fortune in the future. I hope the two little guys can benefit society in the future. As Guo Pai spoke, a silver needle appeared in his hand and pierced Shui Duo's belly button. The belly button is the human body's Achilles heel. The moment Guo Pai inserted the needle, Lu Xiang frowned and looked at the two people thoughtfully. You're tuning into the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.